Hello, everybody, and welcome to our last stream of the year, Tales from Beyond Crow Lane. Wow, we made it! We're here! That's so exciting and also so sad and all of the emotions at once. We're going to start the same way we always do with introductions. My name is Reader Stale. I am your humble dungeon master for this campaign. You can find me on TikTok and Hive at DND5E, and on Twitter and Instagram and Tumblr at Snail5E. And that's me, and I'm going to pass things over to Diana.
Hi, my name's Diana. You can find me most places at Sapphic Straganona or just Sapphic Straga. Goddamn you, Twitter, especially a little extra today. You can also find me over our break on
I forgot about that.
That's okay. You can find me and Reed on the 26th. That's a Monday at 7:30 p.m. I believe it is, Eastern Standard Time, on Live from the Apocalypse, where we're going to be playing a very fun and exciting silly little game. Reed, what's the name of the system again? I forgot.
It's called Dungeon.
Yeah, it's really fun, and I think it's going to be a really good time, and I'm very excited to play with some of the other people who are going to be there. So if you are missing me, you're missing Reed over that break. I know it's going to be so hard to go that long without seeing our faces. You can come check it out, and we're going to be having a silly, goofy time for the holidays. And that's me.
Yeah, silly, goofy, for sure. I'm not going to do any emotional damage.
Fucking hell, Reed. Jesus Christ. Okay. Maybe not a silly, goofy.
Swiftly on to Jess.
Hi folks, I'm Jess. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet at Seriously. You can also find me just writing so much sad D&D fan fiction. I guess is it fan fiction?
Just
if they're your own, well, but I'm a
fiction.
fan of my own characters, so that's why.
I like it a lot. Thank you, Jess. Bree.
Hi everyone, my name is Bree. I use she, her pronouns. You can find me eating cookies or drinking eggnog. So if you want me to say hello, feel free to leave some cookies out on Christmas Eve, and I don't know, swing by at midnight.
Oh my God, is Bree Santa?
Before we break our minds thinking about that, let's pass things over to Mara.
Hey everybody, my name is Mara. You can find me across the internet as College of Lore Dropout or just Lore Dropout. I love you all. Mwah.
Thanks, Mara. I love you too. We're gonna pass things over now to TT.
TT, you can find me at TT Brett on pretty much everything except for Twitter. Put an underscore in there. And yeah, I'm really excited for this last session of the year and the spookiness.
Thank you, TT. And last,
also in bed, I'm cozy.
Yeah, you gotta be cozy to get spooky. Last but certainly not least, James.
Hi everyone, I'm James. You can find me on TikTok at NiceOneJames. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Hive, and Tumblr at TTRPGay. You can also find me eating this big ass fucking cheese Danish that I got 2 seconds before we started streaming. So if I look weird eating it, shut up.
That looked, I don't know why, my brain went,
show it
that's
again?
an Easter egg. That looks like a golden Easter egg to me. I don't know why.
What will hatch out of it?
Friggin' bird.
Giant humanoid crow. Well, thank you
Okay.
everybody for introducing yourselves. They're all great people, and you should all follow them if you don't already. Some announcements. Like I said, this is our last stream of the year. Oh, woe is me. Why do all the holidays have to fall on Saturdays and Sundays this year? Boo, boo, boo. But I got great news for you. We'll be back in January. In fact, our first stream is going to be January 4th. However, you may be thinking to yourself, Reed, January 4th is a Wednesday. That's gotta be...
I was thinking that.
Well, perfect. I'm so glad I could read your mind.
Are we going to be playing
Starfarers
Starfarers?
is a Wednesday show. I have terrible news for you and also probably for
What?
Grace. No Starfarers on Wednesday, January 4th.
Oh no.
But then what could possibly be streaming on Wednesday, January 4th?
Oh my gosh, before I tell you what's streaming on Wednesday, January 4th, thank you, Commune DM, for the 10 gift subs. That was very kind of you. Happy holidays. Thank you, thank you, thank you. On Wednesday, January 4th, we have a special pre-recorded event called Rose Cult Origins, where James and Jess take us through the 10 weeks that Rose and Tennant, 7 weeks that Rose and Tennant spent together before departing, before going into the ant farm. It's going to be a great time. And if you think to yourself, wow, that sounds like content I want to see more of. Boy, oh boy, do I have another special announcement? That's right, two of them.
Not another announcement.
God.
Two for the price
It
of
is
one.
Christmas.
We are going to be using this stream as a way to promote our new Patreon. If you like exclusive content, like extra streams, fan fiction, Pinterest boards, playlists, character sheets, battle maps, insight into our DM and world building process, extra lore, if this is the type of thing that excites you, also, if you like the idea of supporting us without supporting Jeffrey Bezos, you can do that through Patreon, and that will be launching on January 3rd. So, January 3rd, Patreon launch. January 4th, Rose Cult Origin streams to promote the Patreon. We've got so much exciting content planned for this. We can't wait for you to see it. There's going to be tiers that are a low amount of money so that anybody can come and support us, and we really appreciate it. Then, we're going to have some extra exciting stuff. We've got some small scale tales. We've got a special Crow Lane one-shot. We've got a bunch of stuff coming in the new year. So you're going to want to stick around. And hey, guys, what's that place that you can follow us for more information about everything?
Twitter, John.
Gonna be Twitter.
I hope it's Twitter. It should be Twitter, but we'll see. But for now, it's Twitter. You can find us at Starlight Tales _ over on Twitter. You can catch our VODs on YouTube if you're missing us over the break. Those are still going to be there. We may not be, but they're going to be there for sure, most definitely. And that's all.
But Reed, what if I'm watching Rose Cold Origins and I want to yell at my friends who have also seen it, and also James and Jess? Where would I go for that?
Do I have great news for you? Number one,
What?
probably the Twitch chat. I have a feeling we're all going to be hanging out in there. However,
Yeah,
number two, no. Number two, if you missed the live stream and you still want to yell, you can join us in the Discord. And the Discord link is in our About section on Twitch. Slay. Anything else?
Slay,
That
but
was so many
EIGA,
good
'cause it's the
announcements.
holidays.
Thank you. I was worried today, and I feel like I did a really good job. So
You did such a good job.
thank you. Everybody affirm me. Thank you very much. Inspiration for everyone who says something nice to me. I'm kidding.
Easiest inspiration ever. Oh my god.
We're going to pass things over to our intro will be right. Hi, everybody. We're back. Now, I forgot to do something during our little pre-stream check-in, so we're going to pull back the curtain on the way that our game here works a little bit. Who would like to recap last session for a point of inspiration? Mara, go for it.
Last session, it was combat time, baby. But first, we had to get all of these traps set in place to get, prepared for Wallow or whoever was going to show up. After some impeccable fake fighting, traps, rope tricks, and just some good old vibes, we were all ready. Wallow and Riva had one of the most fascinating and bone-chilling conversations to ever be recorded on the internet, which got us some good information about kind of what's been going on. Some pieces are starting to come together, but we still have a lot of questions about who Wallow is and what they are looking from us specifically. After the lovely conversation, we took Wallow down. The whole family came together. There was a force field around like the entire estate that Rose did. There was arrows, there were gunshots, there was magic flying everywhere. And our lovely sister Ruby got the final hit on the terrifying 25-foot humanoid bird man named Wallow. Terrifying. After Wallow dissolved into just a puddle of water, which was wild, everybody took some time to kind of go on their own before we figured out that somebody was scrying on us from inside our force field bubble. We went our separate ways to try and figure out what's going on with that, and I believe that is where we left off.
Incredible. Thank you, Mara. Take a point of inspiration. Does anybody have anything that they would like to add? Oh, yes. No, Bree looked like you want to say something.
No, I was just trying to puzzle everything together because I know that Riva went down into the place with the golden egg, but I don't know
Yes.
where everyone else went.
That's a great question.
Riddell is
Cottage?
with you.
So Rodella is
Oh.
following behind you. Rose
and
went to the
Ruby.
cottage.
I was on my way back at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Tenant
Ruby
and
is in the
Ruby
house.
was scouting in the house.
Yes. And where's Nadette?
And Nadette is standing alone in the foyer watching the birds, left out again.
Incredible. That is where we're gonna pick up. It is about 12:45, 1 in the morning, right now. My friends, you will need to get to sleep eventually in order to avoid taking another point of exhaustion. However, the night is still young. What would you like to do?
Ruby's just waiting for Rose to get back. So I think kind of comes back to the foyer again, takes the birds back from Nadette, and is going to take them up to her room and just wait.
I was on my way back, so I'm guessing I'd probably catch you on the stairs.
Let's start there then.
Slay.
Hey, sorry, did you call my name?
Yeah. Just come with me for a bit.
Yeah.
And is gonna kind of lead Rose up to her room and will deposit all the birds in her room for a minute, with Rodney and be like, just keep an eye on them for just a minute. And then is gonna kind of close the door to her room and pull Rose back into the hallway. So, I don't know exactly what it was that was happening with the twins and with Wallow, but if you could, I don't really, magic isn't my strong suit. If you could just rule that out. I'm gonna ask them some questions, but
Sure.
you're good with them, so
Yeah. Yeah, I can. I mean, are you trying to find out if there's a spell on them? Do you want me to
Yeah.
question them? I mean, I'm happy to, play the part. I'm quite a good liar, so I just, they're your birds, and I don't want to do anything that you
I'm
don't
trying
want
not.
me to do.
No, it's fine. I'm trying not to lie to them. But just if you just
Do you want me
Check
to
them.
lie to them?
no, no,
Okay.
it's fine. But yeah, just checking to see if there's some kind of spell, some kind of magical effect.
Mhm.
So I want to believe right now that either they've been tricked, which is its own issue. I mean, they're young and they are quite literally bird-brained, so that's very possible.
Mhm.
Or something is going on with them that's beyond me. So I just want to try to rule both of those out while I figure out what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go take a look. Are you
Alright.
okay, by the way? Do you need anything?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Kind of a lot.
Yeah, no, it didn't really touch me tonight, so
Okay.
you're alright.
I will be once I sleep for a long time.
Yeah. I think everyone just needs to go the fuck to sleep after this, but
Yeah.
I want to get this done as quick as I can, so.
Well, then I will hop to it, and I'll kind of reach out and squeeze your shoulder a little bit.
Okay, and then Ruby will lead Rose back into the room. And close the door.
Can I, before I walk in the room, is my detect magic still up?
No.
I think no. Okay, then I would like to. What are my spells looking like? Do you mind if I take 10 minutes to guess this?
That is totally Ruby's just like, yeah, you can take as much time if you will just come in the room while we're talking,
Yeah.
and then that should take the time. So hopefully by the time we're
Wonderful.
done having this conversation, your thing will go off.
Cool. I will start ritual casting from outside the room.
Nice.
I use a lot of spells.
Or no, you can like come in the room.
Well, I kind of don't want the birds to see me casting magic.
Fair enough. Big brain. That's why they pay you the big bucks. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just sort of sit on the edge of my bed, and then I have Rodney's perch that is usually like right next to it, and I'm gonna kind of gesture for the two of them to come sit on it.
Sorry, which birds?
Ellen's well.
Okay. Yeah, they come.
All right, you two. No one's in trouble. I just need some answers, all right? First of all, are you two all right?
We're both not.
Now, you both know that you've been assigned to keep an eye out for anything unusual around the estate. Did we notice anything out of the ordinary tonight?
They shake their heads.
So, tonight when I saw the two of you chatting with a 25-foot tall bird person, that wasn't strange?
Elle kind of looks over at Twell and then looks back at you and speaks up. That wasn't strange. That was a friend.
Fucking hell. Shit. All right. That's exactly what I hoped you wouldn't say. Okay. What do you mean it was a friend? Have you seen it around here before?
Not around here, but other places.
Other places like what? Like where?
Home.
This is home.
No, it's
I hatched the two of you myself, right here, right outside that window.
No, you didn't.
For the audience, I 100% fucking did.
Oh, you absolutely did. Yes.
100%. I was there when they broke out of the egg. So, if not here, where is home exactly?
At this point, Twell speaks up. Wallow. Wallow is home.
Wallow is... Am I speaking to Wallow right now?
We are all Wallow.
Shit. No. No, you aren't. Your name is Elle, and your name is Twell, and it's a stupid fucking joke that I made. Because we
They
had
both
7, 8,
shake
and
their
9,
head.
and then I skipped Tenant because I skipped 10 because it was Tenant, and you're 11 and 12.
Elle and Twell haven't been here for a long time.
What's a long time?
A couple days.
Listen here.
Hmm?
You let my girls go right now, or I swear to you, I'm gonna make you wish you could crawl back inside whatever you hatched from.
They chose to leave.
I don't believe you.
They wanted power.
They
They
wanted
wanted to
bread
be-
and berries.
Big like Wallow.
So what, you went after the two little ones who didn't know any better? What do you want for them? Give them back to me. What do you want?
Choice.
Can they hear me right now? The fuck do you people want with us?
Home.
Well, this one's spoken for.
They
Fuck.
kind of start preening each other.
Can I turn to Rodney to see his reaction to this?
Rodney does not look like he's paying attention. He's kind of absentmindedly looking out the window.
That's my boy. God.
It's like both in a
That's
way
my
of like
son.
trying to give you space,
Yeah,
and
I
also in a way
yeah.
of like, it's 2 a.m. I need to go to bed.
It's 2 a.m. and he sure
I'm
is
an
an old man bird.
man.
He's an old man. All right, that's fair. Fine. If you won't give them back to me, I'll just have to do it myself. Like I said,
One of them starts laughing a little bit.
You're really not gonna like it.
You're not listening, are you?
I'm not listening. What exactly is it that you'd like to tell me that you think I'm not listening to?
We can't give them back. We didn't take them.
You didn't take them, sure. You tricked them. Offered them things, lied to them.
No lies. We've given them everything.
Don't believe you.
Well, that's not our fault, is it?
Stay the fuck away from the others.
Okay.
And Ruby's just gonna kind of sit on the edge of the bed and wait for Rose's spell to be done.
Yeah. 10 minutes goes by. Rose, you can come on in.
Well, kind of, because, like, I obviously can't understand what's being said, but I feel like I can understand the tone that Ruby
Of
is
the
taking.
squawks?
So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was very,
gently
like,
knock.
yeah, it was very soft and gentle to begin with, and then partway through there was a fucking, you heard business mode happen. Ruby will get up and will open the door just enough for Rose to come in.
Hey.
It's got them. I need to know if this is something that you can break. It's got them.
Okay.
They don't know who they are anymore. They don't know what they are. They're just...
All right, Ruby, take a breath. I understand this is scary. Let me just look. And then we'll take it one step at a time, okay?
Right.
Okay. And I'll step over and I'll kind of like kneel down a little bit and like put my elbows. They're like on the bed. Did I make that up?
They're on like the perch next to the bed.
Yeah. Okay. I'll kind of like put my elbows there and like give a little and while I'm doing that, does my detect magic pick up anything?
Oh yeah, you get a big, you get a big conjuration and illusion vibe from these birds. From these birds.
Yeah. Can I make like an Arcana check to see if I can figure out with a combination of those, like schools of magic, what I think this might be, even if it's just to narrow it down. Cool. Come on, dice. That's not good. That's a 7.
Not magic you have.
Okay.
Not magic you've used before.
Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna turn back to Ruby. And while I'm saying this, I very much want to be keeping an eye on them, and I would love to make an insight check to see if when I say this in common, if I think they can understand what I'm saying. And I'm just gonna turn back and say, did they get hurt in the fight? They're looking quite ill.
No, I don't think so.
And can I make like a check to see if I think they are pretending like they don't, like, just to determine if this is like a wild shape situation, you know, or if this is
Sure.
just out of an abundance of caution. That is a 21.
Yeah, they're kind of
On
looking
insight.
around the room. They don't seem to be all too invested in your conversation.
Okay. Just to be actually, here's, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cast message to say this, just to be safe.
Sure.
And I'm gonna say, these are not birds. There's something conjured and something made to look different. I can try and dispel it if you'd like. I don't know what we'll be dealing with, but I think I can only do one effect at a time. That's mostly James being unsure. But I
if
can
you
try
can.
if you want.
If you can.
Maybe stand by the window just in case.
Yeah. I think I like locked the window. Like the window usually stays locked, so it's like closed and locked right now, and the curtain's closed. So, and so's the door. So all exits and entries into this room, fucking cut off.
Maybe while I'm doing this, do you want to pop your head out and tell Tennant just in case something big is what's hiding in here?
Yeah, sure. And I'm gonna take Rodney with me out of the room, and when we get out there, I kind of turn to him and I'm like, don't suppose you're Wallow too?
Goes back at you. What?
You're not. You heard
I'm
what
not.
you
What?
heard what they were saying before, right?
I'm Rodney.
Yeah, you are. Attaboy. And I give him a berry. I'm gonna go and find Tennant real quick.
Walking
Where do
under.
Where do I find you, bestie? What's
So
in
I
what
think
state?
just so bad. Cannot cannot say enough. This man is just covered in so much blood. Half of their shirt is just hanging off of them. I think after kind of scanning, you know, the lower floors and finding nothing, I think as the kind of adrenaline of the fight started to wear off and they felt gradually more shitty, Tennant kind of retreated into his room, and there's like a small bathroom attached to it, and he is kind of sat on the edge of the bath. I know he kind of got patched up a little bit by Rodella, but this guy's still at like less than half hit points, so I think he kind of undoes his shirt and is kind of examining the damage.
Sorry, you said he undoes his shirt. I have to.
Reed, that is my brother. That is my brother. Stop it.
They're experiencing an incredibly traumatic event, Reed. This is not the time.
Sorry.
Trauma and hotness isn't mutually exclusive.
That is my brother.
Give
Put
me
a shirt
2
on,
seconds
hippie.
to make my camera not blurry, and I'm back. Tennant has a tattoo on their rib cage that they got shortly after the twins were born. It is of 2 trees, an elm tree and an aspen tree, to represent their names, and they kind of grow and entwine together. And there is one of Wallow's claw marks has gone straight through the middle of it. And Ruby, I think you find him kind of sat on the edge of this bath, just sewing up the wound with like a needle and thread that they have, you know, a medical kit that hasn't had to be used in a long time.
Mm-hmm. I think Ruby comes in and just, without even thinking about it, is like, you're kind of shit at that, and throws a healing word to kind of heal his shit, so that way you don't have to keep fucking stitching yourself up.
I think they kind of just like pause and kind of look up at you and okay.
Leave the needle point to me and Rodella, all right? Look, Rose and I are about to try to dispel something that's fucked with the birds. And just wanted to make sure someone else knew. I don't think it's going to be a problem, but...
What do you mean?
It's got them. Wallow's got them.
How many?
Just the 2 that I know about. Rodney seems fine.
The twins birds.
Yeah. Says it's had them for days.
Okay. You're trying to dispel it?
I think so. Rose said it was there was some sort of illusion, some sort of conjuration over them. They might not even be the real them. It might be something else. And frankly, that's what I'm hoping for. One of them was acting weird before, and I suspected that maybe the other one wasn't real. So part of me's hoping that they just disappear in a puff of smoke as soon as she does it.
What about the others?
I'm going to check on them as soon as I can. But I want to deal with this first.
You okay?
Do you want me to lie?
I'm not very good at it.
Yeah. I'll be better once I figure out whatever the fuck it's done to them and fix it.
Kind of F's himself up and just kind of loops an arm around her and just kind of rests his chin on top of her head. Like a half hug.
For the first time in 2 days, she relaxes. All the tension in her shoulders just goes. The fuck am I gonna do?
We'll get your birds back.
Yeah.
I promise.
Yeah. Well, you should really be sitting down. You look like shit.
Yeah, well, I was until you... What do you want me to do?
You don't need to do anything. We just wanted to make sure someone knew.
Okay, appreciate it.
Sit down, fucking, I don't know, eat something. I don't know what people do. Fucking drink water. I don't know. Most importantly, put a shirt on, please. And is gonna stalk out of the bathroom and go back to her room.
Could I have done something while Ruby was gone?
Yeah.
Just very quickly, I would love to use the Circlet of Crows, one charge of it, to cast Speak with Animals on myself.
Sure.
And I just, I think if they'll let me this whole time, I've kind of just been, very gently, running the back of one finger against, the top of their heads and down. Just very lightly. I mean, I imagine, Rose is Disney Princess coded. Rose has probably spent a lot of time with the real version of these birds.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just while I'm doing that, very lovingly, very motheringly, I'm just going to say, whatever it is that you want with my children, you leave them the fuck alone. Still just very gently.
They kind of close their eyes, nuzzling into your hand. They don't respond.
Okay, that's fine. I just wait for Ruby.
Yeah. Ruby kind of comes back in, closes the door again, and is gonna have Rodney wait outside.
Speaking of which, did Rodney give off any magic when he was in here? Just out of an abundance of caution. Cool, great. Thank you
No
so much.
magic. He's entire. Yeah, the rest of the
My
birds are
son.
entirely mundane birds.
Nice. Love to see it.
Yeah, Rodney will kind of herd all the other birds out of the room
Not a boy. Yeah.
and be like,
Good
okay,
boy.
now everybody line up in order out here. Stand at attention. You know the drill. And the door can close behind him.
Hey, ready?
Yeah.
I'll, long day, so I'll try my best. but just
That's all-
prepare yourself if
that's
it's
all I can
big
ask.
magic, which it might
Yeah.
be. I don't know if I can.
I know.
Actually, Snail, I have a question for you.
Hmm.
Enhance ability. For ability checks, would we say if I had to roll it for a dispel magic, would we say that qualifies if I
Yeah.
do it for my spellcasting
That is
ability?
definitely
Okay.
an ability check.
Cool. Then I am going to drop detect magic because they're both concentration. I'm going to cast enhance ability on myself. For I don't remember what it's called, but the charisma one.
Yep.
And then on L, I will try to cast detect magic. Dispel magic, and I'll do it at 3rd level. And I'm aiming for the illusion part of this effect if I have to pick one.
Incredible. You watch as you cast this spell, and there is a moment. Are you still like stroking their heads as you do it?
I think yes to pass off, to try and like disguise the magic initially if I
Yeah.
can, just in case this is bad.
There is a moment where Elle their eyes shoot open and looks over at Twell with just like genuine fear. And then the fear disappears. And Elle just smiles and looks at Twell and says, "I'll see you soon," and disappears into black shadow and smoke that fills the room and then dissipates.
Just look at
Twell
Ruby.
kind of looks up at the sky with a smile, looks over at Rose. "Me too. Me next."
No. No, keep this one.
I'm gonna lean into 12. And I'm gonna say, you swear me right now an oath that you and yours will leave my children the fuck alone, and I will let you go.
We want
If
nothing
not,
to do with the kids.
You're hers. Then why the kids? Why watch them? Why speak to them?
It was the easiest way to get you to listen.
And tell me why we shouldn't keep you here as an easy way to make them listen.
They don't really care about me. I'm one of many.
That's quite sad, isn't it?
It's okay.
I'm gonna kind of like incline my head over to Ruby and then look back. You know, we care for our people, for our family. We look after them. They're not just pawns to us. Something to consider.
I was told that's what makes you weak.
I suppose somebody who would be willing to sacrifice the little pawns that they push around the chessboard would want you to think that. I figured you were smarter than that, but it's okay. I can live with being disappointed.
It's a lot of faith in a bird.
Yeah. That's because I believe in you.
Kind
I
of
don't
like
believe any living creature is so small as to not be believed in.
puffs the feather out a little bit.
Just like I believe in you now. To see that maybe if the people above you are grateful to you, you can live a better life. For example, like how we would be grateful for you if you came over to the correct side, the winning side. You'd be looked after and cared for. Wouldn't you like that?
Make an insight check.
Okay. Just running like dog shit for 2 days. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. To answer a question, bird smile with eyes. Bird smile with eyes. Which is creepier.
That is terrifying. 25.
25. You get the sense that if they could, you've convinced them. But they can't. And 12 kind of looks at you with a little bit of regret.
I will instantly start stroking. The father's gonna go, "Oh, shh, it's okay. It's all right. Why don't you just tell us whatever you need to get off your chest, and the next time we see you, we'll take care of you.
Spell's beak opens and the start of another word comes out. And then they just start coughing.
Can I? I know my detect magic is down, but there's a part of me that feels like that is, I don't know if it's a separate magical effect or if it's part of this. Can I attempt to dispel just that?
I will let you know
Mm-hmm.
that it does not seem to be a separate effect before
Okay.
you do it.
Hypothetically, I don't know if I want to do it because I know that Ruby wants to keep this bird. Hypothetically, would you let me roll to try? If not, it's okay.
It's part of the same effect.
Okay. I'll kind of still keep stroking the bird and just look over my shoulder at Ruby.
Still
Do what you need
coughing.
to. Do what you need to.
Okay. I will lean in to the bird, not
You
12.
lean in and you watch as a gold piece comes out of 12's mouth.
I take it. Can I look at it? Does it look like a regular run-of-the-mill gold
Looks
piece?
like a regular run-of-the-mill gold piece.
I kind of look at 12. And I think there's a moment where the energy of a toddler mom who is used to being handed weird things just almost comes out. Thank you.
Belle looks as surprised as you are.
Sick. Okay. I'm not letting go of this just in case it disappears when 12 does. I want to know. I'll say, all right, darling, I'm going to send you back. But will you promise me, if you do come back, that you'll remember this? The conversation that we had, and maybe you'll spread it to some of your friends who also, let's be honest, deserve better treatment that we can give them. Deserve to be looked after by people who care. I know that would be very scary, what with them watching, but I believe, look at you. You're capable, and I believe in you. So if you come back, will you do that for me?
You watch as Twell kind of looks up at you and pulls away from your hand for a moment as if asking for permission to move for a second.
Yeah, I pull my hand back.
Kind of crawls up your arm, up to your
Mhm.
hair, and starts to preen, grabbing leaves and little bits of blood and pieces of dirt out of your hair. And just cleans you up a little bit.
I allow this to happen, and I wait for Twell to come back down to when, Twell is ready to go.
Yeah. Twell kind of takes a moment, looks over at Ruby. I'm sorry.
You can always come home.
I'm not who you want me to be.
I want you to be anyone other than who you are. Please just remember who you are. Please.
There's nothing to remember. They're gone.
I don't accept that.
Okay. You don't have to. They love you very much. And turns back to Rose and goes, I'd like to go now.
Okay. And I'll kind of resume that stroking, and when I'm like 2 or 3 in, I will cast Dispel Magic again at... I'm gonna do it at 2nd level, just because I'd like to save my 3rd level spell slot.
I don't think Dispel Magic can be cast at 2nd level.
You're so true. Then yeah, absolutely. You're actually so correct. I will use my last 3rd level spell to do that.
Okay. And you watch as in the moments where the tail and the body start to disappear into black smoke, the eyes look at you, Rose, and then flash over to Ruby. And you hear just the little whisper of, I'm so, as it disappears into shadow and smoke.
Does the coin stay? Okay. Kind of turn to Ruby. You okay?
This means that they're out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Which means that I can find them.
Yeah.
Fuck. Thank you.
Of course. Whatever you need. I'm here.
Right. I
For what it's worth, just with the glance I had with detect magic, Rodney looked fine. The others, did I get a look at the rest of the birds?
Yeah,
No.
they're all fine.
The rest of them look fine. So,
right.
at least for now.
Right. I'm gonna keep them here, for as long as I can. Keep them away from that thing. I just don't know how this happened and I didn't see it.
Yeah. You can't see everything, Ruby. It's okay.
That was the point of the fucking birds.
I know. You can't fault yourself for something you didn't know you should be looking for.
Please. We all know I can.
You should. Just,
Maybe.
speaking as your completely impartial advisor, you shouldn't.
Oh, my advisor. Didn't know I had one of those.
Yeah, well, surprise.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go bring the others in and, your husband is very fucking covered in dirt and upstairs and having a little brooding moment, so...
Okay. Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
You don't worry about that. I'll go deal with that.
Yeah.
You go. Yeah,
Thanks.
do whatever you need to do.
Thank you.
Hey, I love you, sister.
Right
Say it back.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Sister.
And we will fade from there. We'll go back to the hole. Not that hole, the other hole. Riva, you have just had your moment with the birds, and Rodella, you managed to kind of rappel down the rope and join her.
I think you're gonna find Riva sort of staring at her reflection in the golden egg for a moment. And I think Rodella, when you come down, I think I turn over to you. How are Tennant's wounds?
I haven't had an opportunity to check on him yet.
Okay. Then I bet he'll be fine.
I'll be fine. How are you?
With that, I think you see sort of like Riva's sort of like shoulders relax for a second. As sort of like the sort of guard mode, sort of like intensity, I think that she's been prowling with, I think, sort of fades just a smidge. I've been better.
Rodella is going to just close the little bit of distance between them and stand kind of between Riva and the egg and just kind of wrap her up in her arms and just kind of hold her for a minute.
Riva, I think, like, melts into you a little bit. And as she's sort of like in your embrace, like, I take a moment. Sometimes when I look at myself in the mirror, I see him.
You're not him. Rodella's going to grab your face, just kind of untangle herself from you really quick and grab your face and just very gently, look at me. You'll never be him. Oh my God.
You know, whatever this wallow thing is, whatever this thing is, sometimes I can't help but wonder, if I was more like him, would we have enemies like this? Do you remember
Because
the end
of
of the
him,
war?
Reva. It's because of him we have enemies like that.
But do you remember at the end of the war, when everything was burning? And I don't remember the words that came out of my mouth. But I do remember that moment offering mercy. What were the terms? Do you remember?
And then, well,
He would have slit the throat of every single person who defied him. And
that's
instead,
because
no, and instead, we offered 100 pieces of gold to anyone who would walk away. How many people took that deal that day? I don't remember. But I can't help but think we should have slit all of their throats.
your father, we can call him that, was a weak, cowardly, who hid behind fence. He would have killed those people because he was scared. That's the difference. It takes bravery to be merciful. We have held this empire aloft. We have kept this house safe, and we will continue to do so. And she reaches out and grabs her face again. Because we're not afraid.
And I think like Riva's eyes, I think in this moment have been sort of like clouded and like sort of thinking about the past and sort of lost. And the second time you grab like her face, I think her eyes like clear and she looks into your eyes. And there's a small sort of grit in her mouth. And there's sort of a moment of like, yes. You're right. And she like gently sort of like squeezes you. Or I don't think it's gentle. I think it's a little bit firm and very sort of like in this moment, Riva has found her anchor again and sort of just holds on to you.
Why don't we go back? Get out of this hole.
That sounds like a great idea.
Rodella kind of squeezes your hand again and turns around and starts walking back to the rope, knowing you're going to follow. And as she does so, once she's facing away from you, just take a deep, very shaky breath. And some of the put together facade crumbles a little bit.
And you two can begin to make your way out of the hole together.
As we're making our way out, I want to take one last glance into this hole, this chamber. Has anything changed since we were last here?
Besides the beaks of the birds on the drawing being shut, nothing else.
And nothing with the egg?
Nothing with the egg.
Nothing with the egg. Okay. What else is there to this mystery read? What else is there?
We will move from there over to Nadette. What's Nadette up to, Mara?
I think after Ruby came to get the birds, Nadette will walk out of the house, kind of look around at the barrier surrounding, and is gonna go into the kitchen, rustle some things up, and then go and find Tenant.
Sure.
Hey, can you come with me really quick?
You find Tennant's still in the bathroom. His hands like braced against the sink, and he's also looking in the mirror above the sink. And you see something kind of clear from his eyes, and he turns around. What?
Come with me.
Okay, you
Come on.
okay?
Yeah, let's go.
Like, it's
Come
already following you, but is like, and kind of like doesn't have time to change, so just throws back on the shirt and like the coat that they were wearing that's just looking really shitty, and follows you.
I lead him back to our old playhouse that Tenant built for Nadette when she was very small, and it's like just big enough that they can sit in there like touching knees to knees. There's little ice chest with like 2 beers in it and like a bag of chips and some cookies, and just like scrunches in like, come here.
What are you doing?
Just get in here. I know it says no parents allowed, but we'll make an exception. Come on.
Just like crawls in, and it's just way too big for this space, and it's like, man, I don't have time for this. I appreciate what you're trying to do.
No, you have time. Like uncork, hand a bottle. I'm going to sit in silence until this is gone and we have eaten some of the snacks. If you want to fill that space with talking, then we'll talk. But if you just need time to not be a Crowcolt and be a fucking person, let's have that too. It just corks it open and just sits in this space with you. Just there.
There's a long pause. Sorry, did you just say you were going to sit in silence?
I did. So you gotta understand how much I'm giving up right now.
Tell me right now, are you Wallow or not?
Starts laughing. I remember, would Wallow know what your tramp stamp is?
Oh, gee, Nadette. Okay, fine. It's not a tramp stamp, it's just on my lower back. I have tattoos everywhere. One of them's gonna... If I left that area clear, it would be weird.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Right. No, totally get it. Makes 100% sense, yeah.
Okay. Just starts drinking.
And does Tenant sit in silence with Nadette? Or does he try to fill the silence with anything? Or do they just sit for a bit?
I think after a moment, like, he's kind of drinking and, like, kind of watching her and testing the limits of this silence. to see if
She's getting so fidgety about it, like, doing her best to keep it, but is, like, twiddling her thumbs, like, crinkling the bag of chips every, like, 10 seconds. Just, like...
I think after a little while, like, when they kind of... The stubbornness of Nadette is winning out on their need to talk. When did you get so grown up?
think it kind of happens as time passes, generally, is how growing up works. Tenant, you gave me a wonderful gift growing up. You gave me a brother, playmate, someone who I could grab at the drop of a hat to make a playhouse for me. And I know you didn't get that. And I don't know, I'm glad you get to give that to your kids. And I just want you to know that I love you, and while I can't possibly understand all that's happening, you're not alone. I can handle some of the grown-up stuff too.
I think he like reaches across and kind of how when you were so much smaller and Tennant just used to manhandle you like a dad does with a toddler, kind of grabs your coat, drags you across the small space in between them, and kind of like swivels you around so that your back is against their chest, and he kind of just wraps their arms around you. Because I think part of him finds this easier to just not look at your face. I look at those kids, and they're so small. And they've seen nothing of the world yet. And I think what I was doing when I was 6, and the wars that were going on, and the people that were dying. And I thought they could have something different.
And it just, like, kind of put my hand back until I could, like, find his head and kind of grab the top of their head and just kind of shake it around a little bit and be like, you've given that to them already. What are you talking about? You are giving them something different. They've had something different. Sure, there's, some weird shit happening, but that's part of life, and they're safe and well protected, and nothing is ever going to happen to them until they probably, go out and get into trouble on their own when they're old enough. Then, the whole family will have to bail them out. But you have given them everything already. You've set them up perfectly. And I'll even let it slide that you had used me to practice, because, look how I turned out.
I did a shitty job with you.
Nah. I'd give it a C+.
Okay, I'll take it. And part of Tennant is just breaking a little bit inside because Nadette's response, he knows, is so reflective of their innocence and the fact that they have not seen the beginnings of a war and they don't know what's to come, and he just can't find it in himself to shut her down or to correct her, and just kind of ruffles the top of her head. Yeah, you're right.
I think Nadette will just sit in there until the snacks are gone, finish the drink. kind of climb out of the little playhouse and say, I love you so much. But if I don't get the makeup off my eyeballs right now, I'm going to murder everybody I've ever met. It's driving me insane.
Oh, okay.
I love you so much. That's it. That's the thought. And I'm sorry about my outburst earlier in front of the kids. That was bad.
Yeah, I should know better. Then, usually you're not one to mind your words, but that was impressive.
Thank you. I've really been practicing all day, but I'm probably going to go babble at Sloan for like 30 minutes now, really just get it all out, all this pent up,
Yeah.
Maybe I'll pull a Ruby and start talking to trees, I don't know. Could happen.
Please don't. I don't need to have Ruby to keep an eye on.
Ugh, God. Now that's a real nightmare. Trying to toss over my shoulder as I start walking back towards the big house.
Hey, we'll just grab the back of your, coat again.
Yeah?
Kiss you on the temple. I love you too. Gotta get some sleep.
Obviously. Yeah, you too. I'm gonna buy you an eye mask and lavender soaps and scents in town and a noise machine. Give you ocean waves to put in your bedroom. I'll stand over your bed and sing you lullabies.
Please don't.
Alright, then get some sleep.
Okay.
Okay. Good night.
Good night. Just watch them leave until she's out of eyesight and then go back inside the main house.
Okay. It is now 2 a.m. Time to make a decision, everybody. How are you spending your evening? Are you going to bed or are you staying up?
Can I have a conversation with Tennant quickly first? Because how that goes is very much going to determine my answer.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So sorry if we want to do everybody else and then I can do my thing.
No, you can have your conversation first.
Cool. So after Rose and Ruby left, I know Rose went looking for Tennant, probably started in the bathroom and saw the signs that they were there once and then was like, okay, started going room by room looking for Tennant, and I think it probably bumps into them when they're coming back in from outside and goes, oh, hi, sorry, Ruby said you were brooding, so I came to find you.
I was what?
Brooding. You do that. I don't know if you're aware. It's very becoming.
Ruby's had a hard night. I'm gonna let it slide.
Yeah.
How did that go?
I feel like fine is not the correct word, but technically nothing bad happened. There was some kind of conjured shadow thing. Nothing was left when I dispelled the illusion. And then I was talking. So I don't know how much Ruby told you, but Elintwell are not Elintwell. They are some kind of conjured, illusioned magic thing. Well, they were. They're not anymore. I spoke to Twell and managed to convince them to be on our side, I think, but they couldn't speak about anything. And I'll kind of reach in my pocket, fish out a coin, coughed this up when they tried, and then had a nice little bonding moment, and then I dispelled it and it left, whatever it is. So
I'm gonna look at this coin. Does it... Tennant, I know early in the day, took a very hard look at the material that the gold egg and the nest was made out of. Can I see any resemblance between the gold of this coin and the gold that I saw earlier?
It looks exactly the same.
Can I keep this?
Yeah. Just, maybe be, while we're in the bubble, well, not that it matters, but maybe be careful about what you say when you're carrying it and I'm not there, because it could be a scrying thing.
Did you get any magic coming off it?
I didn't have detect magic up anymore. I can do it again, it'll take me 10 minutes,
it's
and I'm
okay.
kind of exhausted, so...
I know. It's just kind of lead you further inside the house, kind of probably into the kitchen. I'm assuming Nadette did not clear after her. So the tenant's gonna, put the rubbish away and all the stuff and kind of pot around in the kitchen while I was talking to Rose. Nadette went back to the cottage. So.
Oh, okay. I checked in. Everything was fine. Kids are fine. Elowen had a nightmare again, but as far as I know, it was just the normal Elowen nightmare and not the, yeah, Sloane is still there. Elowen and Aspen are asleep on the couch. So,
Okay.
everything seems fine.
Have you seen Mum anywhere?
Did I see Rodella walking when I was walking back from the cottage? Yeah, okay. It looked like she was maybe heading in the direction of the big crypt hole thing. But I was walking back to the estate. Ruby was yelling for me, so I didn't stop and ask.
Our little earpieces are still working and on, right?
Mhm.
Can Tenant just, out of abundance of caution, just kind of puts in ear, and messages Reva "Hey, are you okay?"
Yes, we still haven't found out what's been scrying within our circle, though. Have you found anything?
No. Let's debrief if you come back to the house.
Got it. We'll meet you there.
Okay. Kind of turns back to Rose. I'm just gonna chat with them about next steps, if you wanna.
What?
I mean, you can stay, but like you said, you're exhausted, so.
I mean, I'll stay and then, walk back home with you.
This is probably gonna be an all-nighter, These things are not quick
Ten.
things.
I have to sleep.
I will, but time is not a luxury we can afford right now.
I'm gonna reach across the counter and just kind of take your hands. Look, if something is scrying on us from in the bubble, we don't know when it's gonna come back. And I need to know when it comes back. You're not gonna be dead on your feet. Plans will be there in the morning. I understand. I do. I don't mean to push. I can't stand here and watch you drive yourself into the ground. In general, but especially with all this going on.
I hear you. But please just trust me.
I do. But I also know you.
But you don't know this. You don't.
None of us know this.
I do.
You can't.
Rose, I know what it's like to fight in a war with this family, and I know what needs to be done to protect you. And I need you to let me listen, please let me do what I need to do.
If the cost of you doing what you need to do as driving yourself so hard that you're not here for tomorrow or the next day. But lovingly, no. I love you, and I can't watch you do this to yourself.
I can't fight Euros. I can't do.
I don't want you to. I want you to sleep. I want you to take care of yourself and eat. So that we can face the next thing together. Strong enough to face it. I know that you are strong. I know that. I've seen it. I know that you can push yourself hard enough that you can do anything on no sleep and no food, because I've seen it. That doesn't mean you have to. And if you were to drive yourself into the ground and I stood by and watched it and then I lost you, I would not live with myself. So I know you're trying to take care of me and take care of your family, but you have to let someone take care of you if you're not going to do it. Just let me.
There are going to be some things that need to be done for however long this thing lasts, for however long it takes until we win. And until that happens, I don't know if I can. I might be a bit of a shit husband for a while. And a shit dad. When we did this before, when we used to fight like this, I never really understood why. I just knew that losing wasn't an option. But it never meant anything. There was never anything that came after that meant anything. Until you. You are the after for me. And I will not lose you.
You're not going to.
I know.
You don't get to take yourself from me either. Because if you think for 1 minute that you're not my after, that you're not my everything, I thought I was going to lose you today. For the first time in a very long time. So, I don't care if you're a shit husband as long as you're there to be my husband. And I know they feel the same about their father. I know that you're doing what you need to do. I get that. And I will never stand in the way of it unless I think you're putting yourself in danger. And I do. Because you're not taking care of yourself. And that's exactly what whoever is doing this wants. They want you to drive yourself to the ground. It'll be easy pickings. And I can't just stand here and let that happen, Ten, because I can't lose you. I don't want an after that doesn't have you in it. Just come to bed, please.
I'll just pull you in.
I'm shaking in your arms and like clutching at you like I think you're gonna turn to smoke.
I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize. You've nothing to apologize for. Just come to bed. Let me take care of you, please. It's the only thing I can do right now.
Hey, then pulls back, holds your face. You can do anything.
Okay. And I think you can see on their face, like, very clearly, that is not sinking in at the moment.
I mean it.
I know.
You saved my ass today. Again.
Yeah, I'm getting quite used to that. It's like stretching a muscle I haven't used in a long time. I'm always gonna be there, you know, to save your ass, keep you from falling.
His
I
hands will
need you
like,
to let me though.
he'll brush back your hair and then his hands will kind of drop and like just rest at your waist.
There was not blood in Rose's hair. There is now.
Reed, I'm gonna get on a
you.
plane and I'm gonna fight you. Why would you do this?
Or what?
Rest his hands at your waist. You gotta be careful, though. You know.
I know.
I'll kiss you. Let's go to bed.
Can I insight that? Can I argue advantage because you're my husband? Okay.
Jess, if you want to roll persuasion or deception, you can, but it's at disadvantage because of your exhaustion.
26.
Yeah, like there's nothing left inside him to fight this right now.
I'm
think
just
at
gonna
this
pull you
point-
back in. No, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think at this point, Rodella and Reva probably are back at the house, and you hear the door open, the front door open.
You
Yeah,
also hear the strident sort of pounding, sort of clicking sound of like Reva's boots on the ground, headed towards like the dining room table.
you're wrapped up in his arms and you feel his whole body just go rigid again.
I hold you even tighter. And then, while I'm hugging you, I'm gonna put one hand up to the earpiece and I'm gonna say to Reva and Rodella, we're going to bed, but I'm sure we'll be by to talk in the morning.
I think upon getting that message, I make eyes with Rodella. They must be exhausted. We let them rest. And we stay up and try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
I think Reva responds back. Get some rest. We'll take watch.
I think what you get, like, I think half of the sigh of relief comes through in the message as Rose had, like, braced themselves to fight for this, and so you get, like, a, thank you.
Yeah, Tennant's whole body kind of sags.
Come on.
Holds your hand, walks back to the cottage.
Yeah.
All right. So now I will ask my question again. Who is sleeping and who is staying up?
I am staying awake until I am thoroughly convinced my husband is asleep because he fucking lied to me the night before. And then I will go to sleep.
Okay, you can do that because you only need 4 hours, while Tennant needs 8. So then Tennant.
Fool me once.
I will also sleep.
Ruby will sleep.
Yeah.
Nadette will sleep, but I just want to say when you come back to the cottage on her way back, Nadette has picked a little bouquet of flowers and replaced the old ones in the house with some new ones before going to bed for you to find when you get home.
I think
Um,
Tenant will like check in.
There's
on
also incense burning in your bedroom, and Sloane is passed out cuddling the kids on the couch.
Oh. Can Tenant like kind of like press a kiss to Sloane's like forehead and kind of be like, "Hey."
He'll kind of stir awake. Hi.
Hi. Sorry it took so long.
We're comfy.
You're welcome to stay, but you're also welcome to. We've got it from here.
I know when I'm needed. And we'll kind of snuggle back in and close their eyes again.
We'll kind of just like make a silent prayer. Thanks to the whatever gods there may be for his aunt. Well, like, if I pat these kids' hair and you say that I leave blood in their hair, I'm gonna lose it.
Henry, you got blood on your hands. Up to
Yeah.
you.
I think he like goes to like touch them and then sees like the blood still coating his hands and just freezes.
One eye of Sloane's opens. A little bit of water. Clears the hand. I close this again.
We'll pet them. But just kind of half a pet and then realizes that the rest of him still very much looks like something he doesn't want his kids to wake up to. So we'll withdraw, kind of poke her head into Nadette's room the way he would do with his own children and check that she's sleeping.
Passed out.
And then I think when Rose and Tennant go to bed, I won't make you insight check for it, but like Tennant has, you can see he has every desire to sleep. He's so fucking tired, but you can also see he is so scared for what will happen when he does. And you haven't seen like that kind of like specific fear in about a decade.
Yeah.
Let me. And they can't fight it. He just passes out in your arms.
Riva, Rodella. You staying up or you sleeping?
We're staying. Sorry to volunteer you.
Mostly because Rodella knows that Riva is exhausted. So I think maybe we'll have like a quick conversation, and then Rodella, which I'd like to have with you really quick, but I think Rodella is going to offer to take the first watch, and I think the idea is that they'll get enough sleep.
So Riva needs 8 hours for a long rest.
Full disclosure. Oh, go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna be like, I'm driving the self-destructive guilt train until we get to the final station.
Rodella knows this.
I mean, Riva can absolutely take a short rest, but let's do the conversation first.
We're gonna have it. Yeah, we'll have a quick conversation. I think Rodella is sitting at the table with Riva, having just waited for the kids to leave, and I don't. This planet was a.
Can you say that again? You're cutting out.
I
don't understand what's happening. This planet was abandoned.
We're gonna We're gonna do technical difficulties mid-screen. We will be right back. And we're back. Take it away, TT.
Sounds with that technical difficulties. All right. So yeah, Rodella looks at Reva and just says, like, I don't understand what's happening. This planet was abandoned when we arrived.
I know. And whatever this thing is seems to be able to communicate to the multiple aspects of itself. What we still know is whatever here is still scrying and it's still within our bubble. This is probably the best chance we have to try and track whatever it is that's been scrying on us here. We have to look.
Yeah. You need rest.
I need to find out these answers more.
I can detect magic. I can keep an eye out. I can take these hours to look around. And I can wake you if I need you.
No, it's better if we do this together. Whatever this is, we can hunt it together.
Okay.
I'm fine. As she catches you sort of rolling your eyes, and there's an exasperated, I think, look on your face.
Rodella like opens their mouth to kind of like, because they just know you're gonna.
One more time. One more time.
I was saying, Rodella just knows that this is going to crash and burn, but opens their mouth to speak and kind of contest, and then just closes their mouth and just nods.
All right. Riva, please go to level 2 of exhaustion.
Do I get any clues for that? I want clues.
We'll get
I
there.
wanna
We'll get
find-
there.
Okay.
This means that your speed is halved. So disadvantage on all ability checks and speed halved. Rodella, you will be taking disadvantage on all ability checks. Both of you, please make me an investigation check.
Yes.
Both of you with disadvantage.
Oh no, that's a 5.
And Rodella?
12.
A 12. The two of you start walking around the house. Rodella, you have to slow your speed to match Riva's as they kind of begin to drag her feet along. You go through all the areas that you've seen before. You see your house that's slowly and slowly beginning to be torn apart as people are going through it and through it and through it. Less of a place you want to spend time in and more of a place that you are forcing yourselves to protect. Riva, your head is foggy, your mind is cloudy, and you don't see anything. Rodella, as the hours of the morning continue on, you find a book in the library. The History of Drithium.
Is this a book that, like, because, you know, like I said, this place was like abandoned when we found it and kind of falling apart. Is this a book that would have been there when we found the house, or is this?
Certainly not. Not a book you've bought, not a book you put there.
So this has not been there. This is one that just appeared.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker. Okay. I pointed out to Riva.
Is there
That
an
wasn't there before.
Is there an author on the cover?
Yes. It says,
Author.
by Big Wallow.
All right. I'm gonna cast Detect Magic on this book using my eye,
Sure.
just so I can use a charge.
Seems to be giving off illusion magic.
All right. But nothing, like, if I touch it, like, there's no trap, there's no, okay.
No.
Um,
You get the sense that maybe like it's presenting an image of a different book on top of a book you already own.
okay. So I'm gonna pull it off the shelf and just start flipping through it.
Sure. It's a little children's book with like crude drawings that look very similar to the cave drawings that you found down in the hole. Telling the story of this mining planet that was full of life and full of people, and then a big accident came and all the people died and everyone was very sad as their families mourned, and then years later a bunch of birds moved in to the planet and settled and made it their nest, and you watch as the drawing of the planet turns from a planet to a literal nest. The planet itself becoming less circular, more ovular, and toward the end it looks more like an egg than a planet at all.
It's an interesting history. In what were you gonna say?
I'll just flip back to the pages where there's the accident.
You flip
First-
back,
Yeah.
and as you do so, the book changes. and the illusion begins to disappear. And you instead have a book about, I don't know, it's an old gothic horror story about a vampire and its castle.
Would Rodella know if this is a spell that can be cast that needs to, like, somebody... Is the person still in here that's casting this? Like...
Make an Arcana check with disadvantage.
Okay.
Can I give the help even though I'm exhausted?
Yeah, you can. So
Oh,
flat.
Yeah.
God damn it. That's a 7.
A 7. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Some illusion magic, you need to be nearby. Some illusion magic can be cast no matter the distance. There are some very powerful spellcasters who, even if there's a spell that needs to be casted nearby, can cast it from far away. But you remember, there's this big dome around the estate right now, and magic cannot pass through. So if this magic is new and was cast after Wallow was there, it has to come from inside the bubble.
I think Rodella's starting to feel a little bit crazy. Would Rodella know, having, I'm assuming, spent a lot of time on this planet, like, learning, Rodella is a survivalist, so learning about the planet, like, reading whatever books they found in this house when they arrived, like, Rodella knows as much as they can know, I'd assume, about Dorithium as they possibly could. Would I have ever come across anything that gave me the indication that there was a huge accident on this planet that caused its abandonment?
No.
So this just isn't making sense.
Mm-hmm.
So why would they give us a false history or their version of history of what happened here? If we were to assume Wallow are the people... Yeah.
Clearly it's what they're using to convince their subordinates. I mean, Wallow talked about parent version of their history, so...
If we can find details about this accident and how it harmed the original residents, maybe we can find some sort of clue, or at the very least some way to get rid of them.
I'll look into it. I think Rodella's getting more and more... Rodella's really good at keeping her cool in most circumstances, and I think the later it gets, the slower Reva walks, the slower Reva responds, the more agitated Rodella is getting.
What are both of your hit point totals right now?
I've got 78 out of 83 max.
Incredible.
112.
Incredible. The both of you, as you're walking around, fall asleep.
How fucking high level that have to be fucking cast? Let's all just take a minute and let's all just think about that.
If this
That's
is like
fucking
a
I don't want to
insane.
think about it. I'm too afraid.
Sleep or fuck.
Literally
I mean,
fucking
I'm
power
fine, but
word
you guys
sleep,
are
bitch.
fucked.
You watch each other both sink to the ground against your will, backs against the wall. You can fight against it as much as you want. But the both of you can feel your eyes shut.
When this is happening,
Mm-hmm.
can I stab myself to stay awake? Or fight against this?
Let me look at the spell. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think if you try, Radella's gonna use every ounce of energy they have left to grab your wrist and just like grip it.
We have no.
Okay. As you sleep and the rest of the family also sleeps, you all begin to dream. The first thing you hear is the crashing of the waves. The seas are choppy, and you can feel yourself rocking back and forth with the motion of the water. You're on a boat, one that is clearly well taken care of. It has seen a few battles, and so has the crew, you realize, as your eyes scan around the boat. There are countless people of all backgrounds and lineages aboard this ship, talking in hushed tones, looking at you every now and then before returning to their conversations. There is a feeling that settles in your chest. They've been talking about you for days now. You sigh and get up to leave from your perch on the deck. You're a little off balance, a little worse for wear, and you feel a warm but firm grip on your shoulders steady you. A young girl, about your height, with slate gray skin like yours and glowing orange eyes and short cropped black hair, make you feel safe. Nothing's going to hurt you. Not while she's here. She places a gentle kiss on your forehead and squeezes your shoulder. Your eyes flutter closed for a moment, and as they open, you realize her gaze is not on you anymore. No, her eyes have settled above your head at something in the distance, and you whip your head around, white hair blowing in the wind and getting in your eyes for a moment. You shove your hair back, and the rest of the crew starts to scramble to attention. And you see her. Pale skin with a hint of pink around the edges, almost as if she's had too much sun. Eyes that are wide and wild, light blonde hair that's almost white that's been pulled back into a ponytail, pointed ears. She begins to descend the staircase of the ship, and then you see him. Shirt half unbuttoned, hair disheveled, a fresh coat of sweat on his slate gray skin. And the worst part of it is that he makes eye contact with you almost immediately. He doesn't look apologetic. He doesn't look guilty. He never does. You feel yourself begin to cry, and your sister grabs your hand, squeezing tightly. Under her breath, she mutters, "Don't cry. Mom wouldn't want us to cry," and begins to walk towards the room that you share, dragging you behind her, your eyes glued to the staircase that your mom used to chase you up and down. And this feeling settles into your bones. Things won't ever be the same again, will they? And Riva and Rodella you pick up. And that is where we are going to take our break. We'll be back in 10 minutes' time, and we'll see you there. Bye. Hi. We're back. Welcome to Emotional Crimes, the episode. Riva and Rodella, your eyes open suddenly, like that feeling when you wake up and you forgot to set an alarm and you realize you're late for something. Sinking feeling in your chest. You're staring at each other, both across the hallway, backs against the wall. What would you like to do?
I think Rodella, knowing who was in that dream and whose like eyes we were seeing out of, scrambles and like doesn't even stand, just crawls quickly to where Reva's sitting and just wraps her up and just holds her and just kind of silently prays
And I
that
think
she'll be okay.
Riva wakes up and you'll see like tears crawling down her face. And she's literally quivering with rage, just like the most pure primal fury. And there's these tears running down her face, but she's not like crying or sobbing. No, she's just like, her eyes are wild at this gross violation of those things that she's held most dear and most like precious within herself. And like in your arms, like you feel that tension, and it's just like when before like you held on to Riva and she let herself like melt into you, this time she is just like twisted like sinew, and she's like a tightly wound spring. Or better yet, it feels like sort of like the hammer of a gun that's been cocked. Like she is silently, I think, with like tears down her eyes. We kill this thing. We slit its throat. We burn it.
We'll find it. We'll find it.
And I think Riva tries to get out of your embrace.
I think the second you do, Rodella, that's all.
The book that we picked up from before, do we still have it?
Did you guys put it back or did you take it with you?
I don't think we.
Sure, then yeah, you still have it.
I think Riva just takes it and like hurls it at like the nearest thing.
Sure, you can hurl it at the china cabinet.
Just fix those damn plates. Fuck.
I don't know if this is like I'm just gonna add whatever. I think it's like an 18 or whatever, and just like smashes into it. And then that's like not enough for Riva. And she's like fucking furious.
I think Rodella flinches just for a moment when she kind of slumps back against the wall and just sits and waits for Reba to get there. Just stares blankly ahead, thinking through the dream.
I think Reva is still wound and is just like, wow. How does it have access to these dreams, these memories? I think Reva's like biting down so hard, and like her fist is clenched to the point where you can see probably like it's her nails are digging into her palms and there's like blood running. Is there anything on the walls, Reed? In the hallway? Or wherever we're at right now?
Sure, yeah, there can be a painting.
Reva's tearing everything down. Like whatever's there, whatever's up, bookshelves, china cabinets. I want to tear it all down.
Smattering, smashing, breaking. And it doesn't make you feel better. But sometimes it's nice to just give your hands something to do.
As that thought crosses my mind, and just the realization that this isn't doing... I think Reva goes to a very dark, go to a very dark place. And she's reminded of when she saw Bernadette's dead body for the first time, and how there was nothing that would bring where she's just furious and that sort of haze of just like anger, and the realization that nothing would bring her satisfaction but seeing the culprit, finding the culprit, hunting it down, and slitting its throat. Like, that's what Reva knows. Like, deep within her.
And unless there is anything either of you would like to do, the sun can rise on the breaking pieces of the family home.
I think when Tannen wakes up from this dream, he has Rose been asleep, or is...
I think so. Normally, because Rose as an elf only has to sleep 4 hours and then just like kind of sit for 4 hours. I think normally Rose like dozes through that second 4 hours. But this time, like waking up from that nightmare and knowing how bad that probably is, I think has stayed up just holding Tennant, like running her fingers through their hair, rubbing their back, and just kind of waiting for the moment when he comes to. And is wide awake.
I think Tennant like comes to with such like violence that it's like it makes you jump. And you know, you guys are not any stranger to like nightmares and to waking up in each other's arms after a nightmare, but this is just the first thing he does is rip himself away from you. And I think he throws open the bedroom door with like a bang, and he's in the hallway and he throws open like the bathroom door with another like loud bang. And just kind of like stumbles. And I think catches his reflection in the mirror and sees all of the different layers of all of the different Crowcolts that's like made him who he is. He sees like young Reaver's face, which is something he's never seen before, and he was just privy to in that dream. And it was so painfully like, you know, the kids growing like his own children, like his face. He sees adult Reaver's face, and he sees Waylon's face in his own reflection, and he punches the mirror and shatters it.
You hear a gasp from behind you.
Fuck.
And
I think
tiny footsteps running away.
I think Rose was like standing in the doorway and walked out just as this happened, and just kind of like reaches up very gently, very hesitantly puts a hand on your back, and then I will go after whichever of the kids that was.
Yeah. It was Aspen who heard the sounds of someone waking up. And Sloan and Elowen have been making pancakes in the kitchen. You can kind of now smell the scent of like frying butter. Aspen has you can tell has like just gone back to the place that she was standing at and trying to pretend that she didn't see anything. Trying very badly.
Can I try to read her face? And like, is there fear there? Is there like, what's the big emotion?
Yeah, make an insight check with advantage.
Okay. Ah, fuck off. 15.
I think that you can see two big emotions.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of fear, and there's a little bit of pride.
I think Rose like sees the fear, takes a step, sees the pride, and stops. And then kind of like course corrects their brain and like walks over, kind of smooths some of her hair back and goes, "Good morning. I was gonna go pick some things in the garden. Would you like to come with me?"
Kind of looks over at Sloan and Elowen. No, I'm quite all right here, but thank you.
Are you sure? It's gonna be really hard, and I think I might need someone really good at it. I don't know. I don't know. Do you know anybody?
Elowen's always been really good at picking things from the garden.
It is true, but it looks like Elowen might have her hands full at the moment. Helping
Elowen, hands covered in like sticky dough, kind of looks at Aspen.
Come on.
Okay.
And I kind of scoop her up, and I'll just carry her outside, and I'm holding her like real fucking tight.
We'll grab a chocolate chip from the table as you leave.
Hell yeah. And I'll kind of just start walking through the like. I imagine it's not a huge garden, but it is like decent size, and I'm just gonna kind of start walking past the plants and letting like the morning air kind of wash over us as I rub my hand up and down her back. So, you know what I was thinking today? I was thinking, can I trust you? It's a secret.
I'm the best at keeping secrets.
I know I could come to you. This whole picking things in the garden, it was a ruse.
I could see through it. You know, I thought
clever,
if Mum really wants somebody to pick things in the garden, Mum would have talked to Elowen, not me, and would have made Elowen wash her hands. So I knew something was up.
It's true. I had to go to my best secret keeper. I was thinking, how would you like to stay home from school today. I mean, I know you're very busy. I think you can work it into your schedule.
Kind of like looks off. Bobby Masterson's gonna be so jealous. Looks back,
No.
nods.
Yeah?
Wait, Elowen too, or just me?
Well, both of you, of course.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Although I don't know if she's gonna be as happy about it.
It's okay. It's, you know, I'll put in a good word. I'll talk to her about it. Don't worry.
Okay.
But we should probably pick some things in the garden, just so they don't get suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'll kind of like kiss her forehead and put her down and start picking things. And I just like, while I'm doing this, because I think Rose's mentality here is like tending to the garden very much calms them. And I'm trying to see if that is helping Aspen in the fear at all. Starting with normal activities, and then if I need to, like, just approaching this one step at a time. Does there seem to be like any kind of relaxation in this for her at all?
A little bit.
Okay.
After a moment, kind of turns to you. You know. I'm very good at keeping secrets.
Oh, I do know this. That's why I came to you first.
And so, I have a question.
Okay.
And know that whatever the answer is, I won't tell.
Okay. Whatever stays here, it's just between you and me.
Puts out a pinky.
I take it and I squeeze it.
What's going on with Dad?
So, you're very clever. You probably
Thank you.
noticed.
I know.
You're welcome. It's because you're my girl. Things right now are kind of a lot. I think you've probably noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
And, sometimes, sometimes adults, when we get scared or worried about the things we can't control in life, we don't know where to put it. And I put it here in the garden. And by petting the cat, and by looking after you troublemakers, and sometimes your dad puts it there too, but sometimes they have to put it somewhere else. And just because we feel fear doesn't mean anything bad is going to happen. Sometimes our minds are trying to protect us from things that they think could happen or that have happened in the past. And it still feels the same, and that's okay. So I don't want you to worry, because I promise you're safe. And your dad and I and your grandmums and your aunts are never going to let anything bad happen to you.
But you've always told me that when I'm scared or I'm worried about something, to give it to you.
Yeah.
So why can't Dad just give it to us?
Well, if we're keeping secrets just here between you and me. Yeah? Secrets?
Mm.
Because
You can never break a pinky promise.
you can never break a pinky promise, of course not. Because some adults, some grown-ups, like your dad, they feel, and I'm not whispering me, James, but Rose is whispering here because I don't necessarily want tenants to overhear this conversation. Sometimes grown-ups think that if they give it to someone else, they are admitting some kind of weakness or putting some kind of burden on the other person, and they just want to carry it all right here on their shoulders, everybody else's worries and fears, so that they can take care of them. And it's not necessarily a healthy thing to do, but
That sounds hard.
Dad likes to take everybody's worries and put them right here in his pocket. Sometimes the pocket just gets a little heavy.
We should tell them to stop.
Oh, yeah, trust me, I'm on the case. I'm working.
Can I help?
Well, I think the best way that you can help is by making really good pancakes and giving your dad big, big hugs. Because even though you want to take some of his fears and worries. I think that you asking might make his worry a little bigger and make them feel like they have to worry about you more. Because you are so grown up and so tough, but you're also very young. And you have to worry about, Billy or Bobby Masterson?
Bobby Masterson.
You have to worry about Bobby Masterson and homework and all those very important things that you have going on in your life too.
It's not quite clicking.
Can I tell which part? Is it the why can't Dad talk to
Yeah.
me about it thing? Okay.
But that
I'm
kind of
gonna-
disappears when you mention homework and Bobby Masterson, and they kind of like
Mhm.
shake her fist to the sky, and it's kind of gone.
It's gonna kind of like reach up and smooth her hair back. Say, you are very good. You're the best thing. I know I speak for your dad and I. You're the best thing that ever happened to us. You know that? You and your sister. No, I would never lie to you. You are the best thing. It's like everything else is over here, and then you guys are up here. You're the best thing that's ever happened. I know you want to help. Sometimes the best way to help someone is to let them pretend like their fear isn't there. Okay? Can you do that, do you think?
Kind of like fiddles with the edge of Tennant's shirt that she's drowning in. Nods.
Yeah. Okay. And we should finish picking these blueberries, or else they're gonna get very suspicious in there. I don't know, then I might have to send you to school to hide it. So.
Starts picking up a bunch of blueberries.
Just gonna like kind of watch her do it and try very hard to hold in a big sigh. And then eventually I will pick her back up and we'll walk back in.
Sure. Nadette, there is a tiny knock at your door.
I think Nadette woke up a bit earlier. And spent some time sitting in front of her vanity, just kind of looking at this face that she inherited along with her name. And did what she does best, which is figure out a disguise to help the family, and just contours the fuck out of her face to make it look not like the shape of Bernadette's face. Lets her hair out and wild and big because it's grown out now. It's not the shortcut. And just looks at out of a different face. Here's the knock. Hello?
The door kind of creaks open and you see Elowen standing in the doorway.
Ah! Is it the best morning ever or what? I get to see you. How are you?
Good morning. I'm okay. How are you?
Just fine. Just finished my makeup. How do I look?
You look very pretty.
Thank you. So do you.
Thank you. Kind of comes and clambers to come sit on your lap.
Oh, yeah. Heaves up. Sit in. What's
Looks
up?
up at your face. Did you do something different?
Oh, yeah. Just trying something a little new.
I like it.
Thank you. You too.
We're making pancakes.
Pancakes?
Mhm.
Remind me. What are pancakes?
What do you mean?
I've never heard of pancakes ever. I don't believe they exist.
You're joking. That's not true. We had pancakes 2 days ago.
Did we?
Yeah, we had pancakes 2 days ago.
You mean those little fluffy things that you like put in a pan and
things.
you put a bunch of syrup and chocolate and berries
and
all over them?
blueberries and chocolate. Yeah, you see, you know what pancakes are.
Oh, right. So you're making them?
Well, I'm helping.
Who's
Kind of. I'm not
making 'em?
helping any. Sloan.
Amazing.
I don't know when they got here, but they're here. So,
Yeah. You know what? Want to know something fun?
yes.
Sloane had a sleepover last night.
Well, I know. I woke up next to them. It was
And they
very
were just there.
strange. Uh-huh.
I know. Sloane's very special like that. Sloane tends to be there when you least expect her to, and it's always a delight.
That's fun.
It is.
Well, I came to get you, but you can come whenever you're ready. No pressure, no rush.
Right. Well, I need to get dressed. I'm still in my pajamas. Would you pick my outfit out for me?
Yeah.
Right. Just kind of pull her off my lap, let her kind of go wild in my closet.
He starts digging through drawers and picks out a very nice outfit, very put together. Things match. You get the sense if Aspen had been in charge, that would not have been the case.
All right, I'm gonna get changed. Make sure you save a plate of what are they called again? I keep forgetting the name.
Pancakes.
Pancakes. There it is. Yes, I'm gonna get dressed. You save me a plate of pancakes.
Gives you a hug around the waist. I love you.
I love you. Yeah.
I like your makeup like this,
No.
but I also like it the other way.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye. Runs out,
Bye.
leaving the door kind of a little bit open behind her. And we'll go check in on Ruby.
Yeah, when Ruby was a little girl, right after everything with Bernadette happened, there was about a month where pretty much every waking minute she would not stop crying. And then she just stopped. And no one ever saw her shed a tear again. And I think that she wakes up and she can feel that wail start in the back of her throat and has to put a pillow over her face to muffle it, and just spends a few minutes silently sobbing into her pillow. The birds are all around her. I think that she locked all the door, window, everything, insisted that they stay in there that night, but just has to take a few minutes to let it out.
You feel the feeling of like tiny bird claws on your back. And then you can kind of feel like the cold feeling of a beak next to you as Rodney attempts to like open his mouth and also scream into the pillow, but like it doesn't really work that well. So all you kind of hear is just like
Ruby just kind of turns and instead of the pillow just buries her face in his feathers and just cries.
He like nuzzles into your neck, starts preening your hair.
Come on, and Rod. You all right?
Yeah.
Good. I have a very important job for you today.
Okay.
And I kind of lean in conspiratorially. You gotta watch the rest of these bozos for the day and keep them here. Keep an eye on everyone. Make sure that they stay safe.
Boss,
What?
I don't ever want to go against the things you say.
We both know that's not true. Just... You can... What? What is it?
I think maybe I should be watching you today.
Thanks. But you're the only one that I can trust right now, and... Rodney, it's got the twins. And I can't lose any more of you. So I need to get them back.
We can't lose you.
You won't.
We're just a bunch of birds without you.
Come on, Rod. You know you're all more than that.
I'm literally just a bird.
And you're a good leader and a best friend.
I'm a good leader because you tell me what to do.
It's not true. You got a mind of your own up there.
Kind of looks up.
Like I said, until I can figure out how this thing is doing what it's doing and how it got a hold of them, I can't risk any of you getting anywhere near it. Please, will you just stay here for the day?
Okay.
You know I wouldn't ask if I didn't need it.
A little sigh escapes his bird beak, and you watch as he kind of goes to the corner of your bed and kind of like uses his beak to pull the sheet off and to like nuzzle under the mattress to his little stash that he keeps under there. And he grabs like a pearl and kind of puts it in your hand.
Thanks. Hang on to this for you.
You better bring it back.
Of course, I never steal
It's
from you.
it's my favorite one.
Where'd you get this one? I don't remember.
Mhm.
Fair enough.
I love you.
I love you too. Stay safe.
Nuzzles against you again.
And Ruby kind of takes a minute, pulls herself together, gets dressed, and is gonna head downstairs.
Riva and Rodella. What does Ruby see when she walks downstairs?
Could we do some type of really awful check to see how good of a job that we did to, I don't know, put things back together
Yeah.
and not be destroyed?
Yeah, you could both roll a deception check with disadvantage.
Oh God.
Even with disadvantage, I think I get a 23.
Slay.
20.
Slay. Ruby, roll an insight check.
Okay. What is my insight? Dirty 20.
So,
So
things look... I think it's hard to disguise the broken plates. But besides that, you gotta kind of put things back to normal.
I think Ruby kind of picks her way across the broken plates and is like, fuck, was Tennant here again? What the fuck happened? And is gonna just pick one up and kind of mend it and put it back on the shelf. What the fuck happened here? Are you
think Rick-
remodeling?
It's gonna cast you. Hopefully glance over.
We
at
can hear
Riva.
you.
Yeah, repeat that, please.
God damn it, this mic. I think Rodella is going to cast you a very pointed look and then very quickly will glance over at Riva and just kind of like a moment.
Rodella, sweetie, it's okay. Ruby, that was my fault. I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize to me. I was just saying what the fuck happened.
No, we should gather everyone around and share what we found last night, and we also have something we'd like to say. And I think Riva looks over to Rodella.
Alright. Can we make it quick though? I've got things to do today.
I think Rodella's just going to go over, grab. At some point, I'm sure they took the earpiece out, put it back in, and just see if anyone has it on, just so Ruby, save Ruby the trip over to the house and just, if we can get the family over here.
I don't have it on.
Does anyone have it on?
I don't think I do either.
I'm almost certain Nadette put it on with the makeup in the morning. You're
Okay.
ready.
So just see if anyone hears it.
Yeah. Honest. Will you give us time so they can eat pancakes with their kids? And then we'll be
Yeah.
over. Okay.
Mm,
Be there soon.
They'll be over. I think Riddell is going to take a minute and just slip into the bathroom for a second, kind of compose herself. Now that Ruby is in the room with Riva, take a minute to go into the bathroom.
I think when Ruby's alone with Reba, so we all had one again, huh?
Yes. Now,
Right.
what do you have going on this afternoon that's so important?
I think Ruby kind of has to, you know, when you've been crying and then it's like you've stopped, but like you might start again, like any fucking second. And you just that shaky breath to try to make sure that you can get through whatever the fuck you're about to say. Willow's got the twins. Sorry, that's a bad way to. When Ruby is thinking about the twins, she's thinking about something very different, completely different context. Two of my birds. I had Rose check them out last night. She did something to dispel whatever illusion was over them, and they vanished. But not before letting me know that they're Wallow. So looks like not getting out of this without casualties.
Ruby.
What?
Riva sort of approaches you. And takes and goes to hold your hand. I know how much those birds mean to you.
Yeah.
And when something takes one of our own, we take twice back.
Yeah. I want to figure out where the fuck this thing lives. I want to figure out where it keeps its fucking heart. And I'm gonna tear it from its chest.
Eva, I think you feel her grip tighten, and I think you also feel the bandages around her hand. Good. Let's find the others.
TT, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What does Bradella see when they look at themselves in the mirror?
I think initially when Rodella goes into the bathroom, she doesn't look in the mirror. She closes the door, leans up against it, and closes her eyes. And Rodella doesn't talk about Bernadette. Rodella doesn't show sadness or show the emotions that she feels around Bernadette, because Rodella is always focused on how Riva is feeling about Bernadette and how the kids feel. And I think in this moment of privacy at the bathroom, Rodella remembers and is sad to realize that her memories of Bernadette have gotten a little foggy. She sees her face kind of swimming in and out of these memories. Bernadette sitting beside them after they lost their eye and their leg, and just tending to her and playing with the kids and just being this light in the middle of something that was so dark. And then she recalls the day that they found Bernadette, and instead, she thinks and she thinks and she tries to kind of picture Bernadette's face, but instead she sees Nadette. And she opens her eyes very quickly and steps over to the sink and washes her hands without looking up about 5 times, kind of methodically, just washing her hands over and over. And finally, she stops and she looks up at the mirror. She looks old. She looks old and tired. And she tries to kind of put the mask back up, just kind of slips away. And the first time, she's just kind of looking at a face full of just fear. And she's very tired.
Yeah. And we'll go from there back to the cottage.
Yeah, you're so true for that, Jess. Retweet, actually.
Okay.
What's that sound?
Yeah. After the moment with Aspen, Tenant tries to breathe their way through the rest of the panic attack. Showers, washes the blood off of themselves, has a hot girl cry in the shower.
Sometimes you need one.
So true.
Once they've done that, tries to slip back into his bedroom unnoticed. And puts on like one of Rose's old like jumpers in an effort to like cover any injuries that are kind of visible, but they're still, their hand is now bloodied and bruised. And I think, yes, very hesitantly walks into the kitchen. I don't know if Aspen's still with Rose or Element's with Nadette, but
By this time, everybody's kind of in there. I mean, except Nadette, it's up to you if you join. But I think by the time you've showered and you've gotten yourself ready, I think everybody's made it back into the kitchen and the pancakes are almost done.
I think we'll just kind of linger like in the doorway and kind of search for Aspen's face.
You see Aspen standing on a step stool over the kitchen island, just putting a bunch of chocolate chips onto the pan that Sloane is cooking on as the last batch of pancakes is being made. Let's see if they notice you. She doesn't look up.
Can I find Rose's face?
James?
I think Rose has been glancing at the door every 10 seconds the entire time that you've been gone. Just trying to hide that, and is partway through, like, kind of leaning on their elbows, talking to Elowen, and makes eye contact with you.
If we really can stay home from school, then that's fine. But you have to bring on my homework assignment because I don't want to get any points off for it being late. And I worked really hard on it yesterday, and it would just make me really, really sad if I got marks taken off because if we turned it in
Wait.
late. So if
Wait.
uh-huh.
I love that you are so excited about learning. I think that's a wonderful quality, and I don't want you to ever lose it. Okay. Sometimes it's okay to just have a little fun. So I promise you, we will get your work, and we will do it together over the weekend. But today, I want to have fun. And you know what I was thinking, actually? Because you and your sister are such talented artists, I was thinking that wall over there, and I pointed the one that still from like a day and a half ago has Aspen's streak of paint down it. You know, I was looking at paint your sister put there, and I was thinking, what if we put more paint on it?
Like,
what do you think?
For on purpose?
For on purpose. Mm-hmm. Would you like that? I mean, I know you're very busy. I don't want to interrupt your day, but I just, I was thinking, like, I could do it, but it won't be nearly as good as if you and your sister help me do it. So, but I mean, if you want to do homework, I suppose you could do maths.
I think there's enough time in the day for me to do
You think
paints
so?
and also to do maths, yes.
You think you can make time in your... I really appreciate it. I have a very busy schedule.
Well, I'll talk to my bookkeeper about it.
Yes. Tell you what, why don't you confer with your bookkeeper very quickly?
Okay.
And I'll go confer with my bookkeeper, and then we'll
Okay.
meet back up in a moment.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah?
Mom, I
Well,
don't
wait.
have a bookkeeper.
You what? You've
No, out of the game.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I think that job is mine.
Oh,
And
okay.
as your designated bookkeeper, I say no school.
That's so funny because that's what I was thinking. Now we have to. What a coincidence.
Well, if my bookkeeper says it.
Hmm.
Tennant's eyes are
guess
kind of
yes.
going from Elwyn, still kind of flicking back to Aspen.
After you've talked, Aspen kind of gives you a little wave.
Can I just very quickly, as you walk up, I'm going to reach out and put my hand on yours as if just to squeeze it, and I'm going to cast just a first level Cure Wounds to try and cover any like marks or cuts you have from punching the mirror. Just give it a squeeze.
Like squeeze it back. And we'll kind of like drop down to one knee, like in an effort to just make themselves as small and less threatening as possible, and kind of like beckons Aspen over with his head.
Aspen kind of looks over at Sloane, who just nods and says, well, I think you've done a great job, and I can finish these up so that we can all have breakfast together. And Aspen kind of nods and gives Sloane a big hug, and Sloane squeezes Aspen back, and then Sloane kind of like gestures over to you, and Sloane steps off the step stool, considerably losing height, and walks over to you. Hi.
Hi. I like tentatively kind of like reach out my arms and kind of pull her into like my knee.
She'll let you.
You okay?
I'm great. Mom said we don't have to go to school, so.
I'm sorry about that.
About what?
If you want to talk about it, you can.
It's okay.
Okay. Can I insight check her?
Mm-hmm.
21.
Little bit of tears in her eyes. You get the sense that she'd want to talk about it, but she doesn't want to add to the pocket of things that you're worrying about.
Just kind of like wipe my thumbs over her eyes. Do you want to play a game?
What kind of game?
I'm gonna stand up and like take her with me and kind of like hoist her on my hip. And I'm gonna walk into the bathroom with her and kind of pause in front of this shattered mirror, like
Tenses a little
holding
bit.
her. And I'm gonna rummage through the drawers and pull out a box of unicorn fairy plasters. And I'm gonna go, do you wanna play doctors? 'Cause I could really use some help here.
It's not going to be a very good mirror if we put plasters all over it.
I mean, oh, and like take her out, and I'm gonna like flip her upside down in my arm and just carry her upside down. Elwyn,
Yes.
I'm gonna like just shake the plasters in the air, and then I'm gonna like sit down in the middle of them, and then just roll up my sleeves just a little bit and be like, "We're playing doctors."
I know. Clears her throat, like shoves her hair back, puts it into a ponytail. The doctor is in. Kind of looks at Aspen. Right, the doctor is in, and Aspen's like, "Yes, Brigitte, thank you very much."
I was gonna unwrap a plaster and like stick it on Aspen's forehead.
Furrows her brow. I am Dr. Schmickenbottom. How can I help you? This is my assistant, Brigitte.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was it, Dr. Schmickenbottom?
Dr. Schmickenbottom. Yes,
Right.
that's me.
Just got a really bad headache today.
Give me a
Sorry.
moment. And kind of starts going through the drawers that are underneath the sink and gets to the drawer that has all of the like play doctor stuff and like pulls out like a fake little like pink and purple stethoscope. And we'll go, "Come here, Brigitte." And Elwood goes, "Yes, Dr. Hickenbottom." And Aspen goes, "Dr. Schmiggenbottom." And she goes, "Right, Dr. Schmiggenbottom." Aspen goes, could you please move the patient's head closer?" And Elwood goes, "Of course, Dr. Schmiggenbottom." And we'll put her little hands on your head and kind of move your head closer. And Aspen like takes the stethoscope and like puts it on your forehead and puts one in her ear and then one in Elwood's ear. And they just kind
Wow.
of stand there.
Is it fatal?
Aspen goes, "Shh," puts a finger to your lips.
Sorry.
Looks over at Elwood. Elwood looks over at Aspen, shaking her head very seriously, very solemnly. And Aspen looks back at you and goes, I'm sorry to say this. You have a very serious illness called head hurtiitis.
Oh no.
And the only cure for it is a billion kisses.
Oh god. I don't have anyone to give me a billion kisses. What am I gonna do?
Takes the stethoscope off, puts it around her neck. Brigitte. Elwood goes, "Yes, Dr. Schmickenbottom. Clear my schedule for the rest of the day." Elwood goes, "Right away," and runs out and goes, "Mom!"
I think if I, not to make this moment sad, I think the minute the kids left, I think Rose kind of like folded their heads on the counter and just like put her head against the cool stone and let the front fall a little bit. And then hearing her name goes, "Yeah, yes, darling.
It's Brigitte.
Sorry, yes. And what is your title, Brigitte?"
Bookkeeper.
Yeah, bookkeeper Brigitte. Yes. What can I do
Well,
for you?
assistant bookkeeper, because you're the big bookkeeper, and your name is.
Janice.
Yes, Janice. Dr. Schmiggenbottom would like you to clear his schedule for the rest of the day.
Ah, yes. Well, not to worry. And I'll just like reach out. There's gotta be like a cookbook or something. I'm just gonna pick it up and I'm gonna like flip through a page and go, and like act like I'm erasing something and flip a couple pages and act and then shut it with like a snap. Right. You can report back to Dr. Schmiggenbottom? to tell the doctor, the good doctor, that their schedule is fully cleared.
Okay. I think it's going to be all hands on deck. We've got a very serious case of head hurtiitis.
Not head hurtiitis.
Head only
My
cures a
God.
million kisses.
A million. Well, I guess I better clear my schedule too then.
And get some chapstick and runs back to the bathroom.
When Ellen comes back into the, or when Rose goes into the bathroom, Tennant has just got like 20 like plasters just on their face. Their face is just like covered in unicorn stickers.
And Aspen gives a smooch and then puts a band-aid on. And then gives a smooch and then puts a band-aid on. And kind of like wipes her brow. Brigitte, I'm going to tap out. And Eloise comes in and goes, of course, Dr. Schmiggenbottom. And kind of taps Aspen on the shoulder. And Aspen goes and sits in the bathtub with like face against the corner, like head on the wall. And Eloise starts kissing and putting a band-aid on.
Tennant starts like flopping over onto the floor being like, quickly, I'm fading.
Right away, sir. And Eloise starts kissing and putting a band-aid
Rosie,
on.
we're gonna need a hand in here.
Sorry, my name is actually Janice. I'm the assistant bookkeeper, so...
Sorry, I don't need Janice. I need my wife, actually.
Oh, let me just actually go get it, and I'll walk out of the room and immediately turn back around and go, hi, sorry, I heard someone needed me.
Oh, thank God. There was a weird lady called Janice here earlier. I need a
Very
lot of
strange.
kisses.
Oh, I can probably help with that.
You hear Aspen yell from the tub, it's fatal!
I'll lean down and I'll start doing little kisses, and then I'll stop and I'll turn and I'll go, Doctor, I think it's contagious. I think, oh no, and I'm gonna scoop Aspen up and I'm gonna just start putting kisses all over her face.
Nadette, you hear all of this.
I think Nadette goes back into her room and just finds an old t-shirt and just rips it up to make bandages and comes running into the bathroom, stand me like, hello, my name is Reginald. I heard you are almost out of bandages for the head hurtiitis.
Aspen goes,
I brought more.
it's contagious! Reginald!
Oh, no, do I got it too?
Reginald, you've got it too, and it's fatal!
Oh no, if Reginald has it, you know what that means.
And Elowen looks up, don't worry, Brigitte to the rescue, and runs and starts placing kisses on your legs.
Perfect. Kind of bend down. Yeah.
Tennant is flat on his back on this bathroom floor, legs kind of hooked over the bathtub. And it's just lying
Aspen yelling, he's not gonna make it! He's not gonna make it!
Don't worry. I've got it. And I'll lean down and I'll properly kiss Tennant.
And I think at that moment is when you hear a knock at the door. And the distinct
Oof.
sound I think of Reva's boots.
I'll be right back. Reginald's got to go check on something. Thank you for the cure.
Are so into just placing kisses all over Tennant that they don't even register.
I think Tennant's still holding Rose's face from the kiss and kind of just drops his forehead against hers.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I feel so much better. Wow.
Are you cured? What a
that
miracle.
was incredible work, doctors.
Yeah. Doctor, just a day in the life of Dr. Schmiggenbottom.
Dr. Schmickenbottom, you have my thanks.
You've done it again.
There's no one quite like you.
Well, Brigitte? Elwood goes, yeah? I think we've deserved a day off. I agree, Doctor. And the two of them kind of wipe their brow and sit down on the ground together.
Tennant stands up. That's hungry work. You guys want to get breakfast?
They nod, and they kind of start running out of the bathroom. And Aspen looks back at you as she goes to leave and gives you a smile and goes, "Thank you," and runs away.
And I go answer the door with a face full of unicorn stickers.
Nadette's already at the door. Reginald
okay.
left, so
Okay.
Nadette's got the door open.
Yeah, Tana's like,
Before
It's a good look for you. No, you should keep him. No, it's good. It suits you.
I like keep one on my cheek.
There you go. I'll just press a little kiss over it, and then I'll leave the room way too smug.
Before Nadette opened the door, just grabbed one of Rose's like big sun hats, wears gardening over just to obscure her face a little bit, give a little shadow, and opens the door. Hi, Mother.
Riva looks at you, and I guess there's, oh man, break my heart. I hope you slept well. We need to gather everyone. I have some announcements to make, and we need to plan our next steps.
If it's all right with you, I think I need to not be here today. We don't know what's going on outside in town, so I was going to ask Rose to lift the bubble, and I'll go get more intel and come back, and then hear whatever you have to say and contribute in whatever way I can, but just kind of like makes eye contact with you. Just please don't make everybody see me today. I can't do that.
Oh God.
I just rolled a nat 20 to overhear just the very tail end of that. And I have an idea of what's on Reva's face, judging by your expression, and I'll just walk up behind and put my hands on Adette's shoulders. Yeah, that would be great, thank you. Maybe check on Carl, given that I posted them at the big... Okay. Let's rub your back.
Whatever you need, sweetie.
Thanks. Right. I'm gonna go grab my bag and tell Rose to put the barrier down and let you know what I find out in the morning, probably. Okay. Go inside, grab Rose.
Hi.
Hey, I just...
You okay?
Of course not, but I will be.
Okay.
Can you let down the barrier? I'm gonna go in town and do some investigative work, not on the estate.
Can I insight check, Nadette? Is that okay with you? To try and...
Absolutely.
Because the thing is, I don't know that Rose knows that Nadette is named after Bernadette. I don't know that Rose has any kind of frame of reference for this. Oh, that's like 1,000,000. That's at 25.
Oh, yeah. You, Nadette, for the, maybe first time in Nadette's life, wants nothing less than to be the center of attention. Just needs to be away from the situation to give everybody else a break. Is actually removing herself from a fight for the first time.
Yeah, I can do that. I mean, are you sure that you want to be on your own?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think Rose is just gonna kind of look at you for a moment with a look that you've seen her aim towards the twins and Tenet before, this look of like, where is the problem and how can I fix it? And after just a minute of coming up blank, you see them kind of just like raise the ring up to her heart and close her hand around it and focus, and it brings the barrier down. Probably slowly. I don't imagine it's like, yeah. And I'm just gonna kind of like reach out and pull you into a hug. Wordlessly.
Give you a big hug back. All right, I'm gonna head out.
Okay, if you need
Um,
anything, just call me, okay? I'm probably just
Yeah.
gonna be with the kids most of the day in Sloan.
Have a great day.
Thanks. I love you.
I
You're a
love
good
you,
sister.
Obviously.
Okay.
I'll probably sleep at the main house tonight, so don't wait up.
Okay. If you change your mind.
I know where to
Okay.
find you.
Yeah.
All right. Nadette will fucking speed walk out the back door of the cottage.
You get to the back door of the cottage and you're met with Sloan in the doorway with like a little Tupperware full of pancakes. Breakfast.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you.
I love you. And you are your own person. Gives you a little smile and wordlessly disappears.
Fucking love Sloan.
They're so good.
Left in the doorway with. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I was just gonna say Rose is gonna start heading probably back out cautiously to not overhear anything they're not meant to. But as I'm walking, I just like to establish I'm thinking really hard about asking Sloan for a reading so that Sloan will see that I want a reading at some point. Because I know how they work. Yeah, I'm just walking out.
Yeah, I think left in the doorway with Reva. Tenant looks at her, and there's no like visible struggle to find any kind of words because he knows on a base level that there's just nothing that he can say. So the only thing he does say is, "Tell me what you want me to do."
I think Reva puts her hand up to your face.
He flinches.
And when you flinch, there's just like that. I don't know if you want to look at Reva's doing everything at disadvantage right now. So I'm trying to think this through, but you see sort of a little bit of heartbreak in her eyes. Just for a flash. And she grabs that little band-aid that you have in your face, the last one, and tears it off. We go hunting.
The shift happens again, and he turns from himself into you.
Well, let's find a spot. Let's talk.
Oh,
We found some
alone.
information last night.
Okay.
And I think Reva sort of gathers everyone around the table.
A point of order: the kids and Sloan are also all there.
Oh, okay.
This is the twins' house, so
This is the twins'
they're
house.
sitting and eating breakfast at the table, and Sloan is kind of
Well,
resign
Tenant can
themselves to
we'll
watching
go back
over
to
them.
the estate if
Go to
that's
the
what
estate.
Reva meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
the kids will probably say something as you guys try to leave. So.
Am I also being summoned?
Well, I think Dana will just kind of relay what Reva said.
Okay.
I can update you afterwards.
I mean, I can go. It's not, I'm sure they'll be okay for a few minutes. I don't know how useful I am in a hunt anyway, so.
We kept them home from school. I'd feel bad doing that and then leaving them without either of us.
Yeah. I'll stay. It's okay.
He doesn't say it, but he just looks really fucking sorry.
I'm just gonna take his face in my hands. Just kind of give him like a knowing little smile. It's okay.
Okay,
You
doctors.
be safe. And when you go, and I'm gonna say this with message, just because the kids are in the room. Will you just remind Reba if at any point we want to try to look in on whatever Wallow is doing? I can still scry. And just kind of kiss your cheek, pull back.
Okay, doctors.
Elowen kind of looks. I'm technically not a doctor. I'm a nurse.
Even better. I know you have a very busy day of pancaking and kissing your patients. Daddy also has a really busy day.
Their faces both fall. Aspen kind of squeezes Elowen's leg under the table and looks up at you, kind of gathering herself. Okay. Miss you.
When I come back, I will bring you a present.
Okay.
Okay.
And we'll have a present for you too, because we're going to repaint the wall, right? So it'll be a fun little surprise for Dad.
Elowen nods excitedly.
Okay. Kiss them both on the forehead. Right, good.
Elowen presses a little pouch into your hand and then beckons you down. It's an extra pocket to put your worries in so the other one doesn't get so heavy. It gives you a little kiss.
Okay. Thank you. We'll leave very quickly.
Sloan appears. 4 Tupperwares stacked on top of each other with pancakes in each of them. Hands them to you.
Wow.
You gotta eat.
What's the Saint application process? Because you should apply. Thank you.
Gives you a smile. Of course.
He's since coming home, has had a hard time looking Sloane in the eye because she has a habit of looking right through people and he cannot handle that right now. So they just leave.
Waves at your back before turning in and closing the door. Here's what we're gonna do, folks. We're gonna do Rodella Ruby tenant meeting. We're gonna do Rose Sloan tarot reading. We're gonna do Nadette in town, and then we're gonna call it. So let's start with Rodella Riva Ruby tenant.
When tenant enters the room, can I roll to see if I know that Ruby's been crying?
Yeah, go for it. I'm gonna roll deception with disadvantage because fucking hell.
Can I give you the help action? Hide your tears. Emotional repression.
Did in fact.
Oh.
I did in fact roll already. And it's a 5.
Oh, I got a slutty 20.
Oh, yep. Yeah, even if it had been flat, I would not have gotten. Yeah, I think. What does Tenant see? What does he see? I think you can just, like, Ruby is sitting at the kitchen table, and she usually looks like pretty relaxed, but you can tell that she is trying so fucking hard to look relaxed in this moment, and is just trying to keep her composure. And like you can see like how hard she's fighting it, how hard she's fighting to even be in this room right now and to not be out there. And she just like, I think, catches Tennant's eye as he comes in, and he can just see it all.
I think in an effort to not make this any worse for her, you see that he can tell immediately. And a myriad of emotions kind of cross his face, but it settles again. He gives you like a slow nod that you know to just be, I got you.
Mm-hmm. She relaxes just a little bit, and just a little, she gives like a slight nod back and like a, thank you for not making this anything, because if you did, I would be so mad at you.
And he goes and doesn't sit down, he stands kind of by her and kind of braces his hands on the table, kind of near enough so it's almost as if he's like protecting Ruby with his body. And he kind of looks at his mother's. Okay. What are we doing?
First things first, we need to apologize. Last night, whatever this thing was able to put your mother and I to sleep.
Both of you?
Yes.
Why are you sorry?
Yeah, we've got nothing to be sorry for.
No. It was our job to keep watch last night. So I take responsibility for that. Second, Wallow was able to cast an illusion and share us their story. And more specifically, the story, in their own words, of Dorithium. And I think I would like to relay the key points of the fable that was passed on along to us. The fact that there were original settlers, I think the accident, recovery, and then us settling. Is that right, Reed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tennant spent a lot of time as a youth exploring every inch of this planet in an effort to just not be fucking at home. In every warehouse, picking apart every machine there was, like getting to know the bones of this planet, and just like there's like a curling mixture of like disgust and like confusion on his face as you relay this story, and he's just like, it's not true. There's no sign of any accident here. There's no sign of any people for a long fucking time when we got here.
I know. Whatever is happening here, there's a mystery to this planet that we need to unravel.
We say that there's no sign of an accident. No sign of a recent one. I don't know. I can think of one pretty big thing that, might not be naturally occurring. Just a pretty big one. Right in the middle. Big fucking hole.
Oh,
I'm talking about the fucking hole.
It's just a hole, Ruby. It doesn't mean anything.
What do you mean it's just a hole? Do you know how that forms? That means that something had to have dug it. Maybe it was some kind of a sinkhole. Maybe if they were mining into this planet, it fucking collapsed under them. No one knows what's down there, right?
And we can't rule anything out.
I'm so angry at Reed. God, I love you so much, but fuck you.
What does Reed always say? You can't fucking make jokes.
But
You can't
Reed made
make
the
jokes.
joke, Diana. It was Reed's joke in the first place.
Exactly.
God damn it.
Exactly.
Not the fucking hole.
Add it to the slideshow. It's in the hole.
I just got full named in the chat.
I could have remembered your middle name. It would have been in there too.
It's also Reed.
Fuck.
I think Rodella's just gonna look up and just be like, "We can't rule anything out." Ruby's right.
This thing is old, right? It seems like it's been here for a while, and it doesn't make sense for it to lie to us. As far as I can tell, it hasn't lied to us yet.
We don't know why this planet was abandoned.
Looks at Reva. Why did you come here? Was it just something you found and it was convenient? Or did you choose this place?
Was there a scouting party? Did someone recommend it to us?
We stopped here. And I think you see like I think maybe a real moment of vulnerability maybe in Reva's face. We stopped here because and I think maybe Reva's struggles to put this into because it was the only place where I wasn't haunted by seeing Bernadette's ghost. You know, when we were little, we used to play on the ship. We used to, you know, we'd play this game where she would hide, and I would go and try to find her. And I'd give her less and less time to find a place to hide. So that whenever he was in one of his foul moods, that she could go hide. But I knew she'd be safe. There's no other reason. No other reason than this is the place where I think I fully realized the depth of my failure. Now, what else do we know?
I think at this point, Tennant is kind of standing over Ruby, so can't make eye contact with her, so instead looks at Rodella. And you just see that Tennant is very starkly aware that this meeting started with not only an apology, which I don't think he has ever heard from his mother, and now this like flash of probably the most vulnerability he's seen from her in a long time. And you kind of see him go from worry to resolution in that you see him mentally step up to take this role. We know whatever we fought yesterday was corporeal, but was also an illusion. I don't think the thing casting this magic is it. There is something bigger. It said it, like themselves, it was made to be worshipped. And this brings out the coin that Rose gave him earlier. Ruby, your bird coughed this up.
Yeah.
It's the same material as the egg down in that crypt.
I think Cordella's going to hold out a hand. And I'm going to cast Identify on it.
It is a gold coin. Not magical.
No other distinguishing features.
Nope.
Is it a?
Oh, can I just clarify? We will be having this conversation in Crow's Camp.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
What's up, Bree?
Are there any? There's no identifying marks or anything like that on this coin. Can we do any type of investigation, like?
So
I'm
we
trying to figure
haven't
out.
talked about what money looks like in our world normally, have we?
Okay.
Not really.
My world building friends. So we'll say it looks like a regular old gold coin. But very, very clearly the same material that the gold egg is made out of, which is gold.
Okay.
Cordella is going to drop it.
We can hear you.
Can't hear you, my love.
I think Cordella's going to drop the coin on the table and just let it clatter. And then is just going to look at the others and say, we need to go hunting, but we also need to find out what the fuck happened on this planet.
This was a
Um,
mining planet. What were they mining?
Yeah.
If we are going to go hunting, looks at Riddell again. Wallow came for your children. Maybe we go for its children. We know there are things on the other side of that wall.
And we know that it tried to send my birds after them. They got stuck.
And they've come after one of ours. We take twice back.
We take it all back.
I can start searching the woods.
I'll look into the planet.
I'll
Pull out
follow up.
records, figure it out.
And then looks at Reva.
I think we follow up. I'm just thinking this through. I think up until now, Reva's sort of like outreach to the other criminal organizations, I think, on the planet and universe or the whole realm have been fairly tame in terms of like information finding. And now I think I turn to you. We follow up with the birdhouse. We reach out to the clasp. We reach out to all of our contacts. And we take every resource we have. And we go to war. We get behind that wall, find out what's there. and then we make them bleed. Do you have any new fun toys that you've been working on in your workshop?
This thing needs to be hit with magic weapons. So I will take everything we have and make it so.
Good.
Anything else anybody would like to say? Okay. With plans in place, we move back over to the cottage with Rose, Sloane, and the twins. You all have finished at breakfast at this point and had to kind of wash the sticky syrup off of the twins' hands. And you can send the twins off to start sketching out what they want the wall to look like.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. So I love that we had this brain blast. Thank you for reading my brain.
I'm becoming Sloane is the thing. We are becoming one.
That's crazy.
Sloane will just sit at the breakfast table.
I will take this seat. I'm like, it's a usage table. My brain processed counter. I will sit across from them and just kind of fold my hands. I think I've also made some of that tea that they've given me the herbs for, and I just kind of poured us both a cup.
And absentmindedly shuffling cards.
So I'm assuming I don't have to ask. Thank you.
We'll
Thank you
put them-
for everything.
Of course. We help out family.
Yeah.
Kind of slides the deck of cards across the table. You know the drill. Hand on the cards, ask it a question.
I put my hand on the cards, and I think there's a moment of hesitation. Hang on. Sorry. I think the question that Rose asks, in just like a whisper, is, please help me help them. Help me save them. What do I do? Show me how.
They put their hand over yours and slide the cards back and start shuffling and kind of going through them until one falls. They flip it over. A tower. Lightning striking it. A building on fire. People jumping out of it. Your current situation.
Yeah.
Change in a radical and monumentous sense. Foundational, groundbreaking change. Change is a normal part of life. We must embrace it, but it can sometimes strike fear in us. Because change means that we must abandon the things that we believe in and the things that we have known before. We must find something new to take their place. Shove the card to the side. You see a man sitting up in bed with his hands covering his face. And there's 9 swords behind him, starting at the top of the card. And eventually, toward the bottom of the card, you can see that it looks like 3 of them are going through. Even though they're in the background, they still appear to give the illusion of swords going through this person. This is the 9 of Swords. Your obstacle. Fear, anxiety, the things that cause you to worry and keep you up all night.
I think Rose laughs a little bit at that. Like, just that kind of dry. Like, yeah.
Maybe trauma. Trauma that might be shameful for you to tell others about. And the way that your mind, your body reacts to experiencing that trauma. You know, the major arcana is a story of a fool who begins their journey knowing nothing and continues on and on. But these minor arcana are stories in themselves. The Eight of Swords depicts entrapment and feeling stuck. And when we don't free ourselves from that, it escalates into this. The destructive end of the mind, of the spirit, one that can fester and turn in on itself and multiply. Questions are plaguing you. Your mind is going through all of the possibilities. You are haunted by what could be. There's also some sort of repetition here. That something has troubled you before, something that you either repressed or ran away from, coming back. You don't have to carry the burden alone. Shoves the card to the side. Shuffles the deck again. Pulls out the next card that falls out. You see a man standing, grasping a staff, kind of looking off to the side with furrowed brows. And there's 8 other staffs behind him. Kind of chuckles a little bit. The 9 of Wands. Your advice. Great hope is found even when one is faced by problems that cause you to lose your balance. You have gone through many things that you were able to overcome. Kind of points to the 8 staffs in the background. You have won battle, moves to the next wand. Battle after battle after battle. And then points to the one that the man is holding. Yet there are more you must face. You have faced things before. You have emerged victorious. You will continue to face them again and again. And you will emerge victorious each time. And kind of goes to return the 3 cards to the deck. And as they put them back, 1 more card falls out. They kind of look at you, shrug their shoulders.
Can I reach over and flip it over?
You see a woman in a beautiful gown with flowers on it, and this lovely crown of flowers in her hair, sitting on a throne that's surrounded by nature, holding staff. The Empress. You bring beauty and happiness to the people in your life. The Empress is a sign to be kind to yourself and to bring beauty and happiness to your own life as well. Returns the card to the deck.
I think when Rose sees this, that kind of front like cracks a little bit, and there's almost this like bubble of a mixture of like laughter and crying, and Rose just kind of like puts her forehead in her hands and goes, "Oh God, I'm so tired of fighting Sloane."
I know.
Yeah.
Reaches out a hand.
I
Puts it
grip
on yours. leans in very close. You do not have to fight anything alone anymore.
I know. Yeah.
We will not let you fall.
It's not me I'm worried about.
I know. But it's you I'm worried about.
Thanks. And I think I just kind of still gripping like their arm, I just lean my forehead down on like where their hand is on my arm. Just take a very shaky breath. Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
I think the kids are done with their skit.
Yeah, I have to go destroy a wall. Would you like to help?
I think I'm gonna go home,
Okay. Yeah.
check on my own kids. But I am a phone call away. And I will come back and babysit whenever you need.
Thank you, Sloan.
And I expect a picture of the wall when it's done.
Yeah. You got it. You stay safe out there.
Of course. Holds their arms out for a hug.
I give them a big fucking hug. Then I go destroy a wall.
Hell yeah. And we will go to Nadette.
Nadette makes a absolute beeline for the antique store. Unlocks it, go in, lights 2 candles in the window, goes to the back, uses the bathroom, wipes all the makeup off their face, puts their hair back in its usual braid, and just, kind of sits in the back room by the back door, just waiting and hoping.
Some time passes. The wind rustles your hair. And then you hear hurried footsteps as Sam comes running towards the shop.
I throw open the back door.
Is everything
And
okay? Are you okay? Or,
You finally ditched your husband?
well, you know, I'm doing my best. The candles, the code. Are
Yeah,
you
come in.
okay? Kind
Right,
of looks
close-
behind her worriedly.
Close the door behind her, lock it, and then I'm kissing her so hard.
gives you a big smooch.
Wait, what? You guys were like a thing? What? Holy shit.
Just making out.
There is a passion and an excitement that hasn't been there in a while. Kind of pulls back.
Sorry.
No, please don't apologize.
Sorry. Do you want tea? I can make some tea. Rose always keeps some, like, stuff around. There's, like, a billion different flavors.
Sure.
Alright. Kinda makes some tea, brings it over. There's little cushion, like puffed little cushions on the ground, sit on. Sorry, it's just a lot of family stuff going on. Just needed a break from the estate.
Okay. I don't think anybody's gonna have any emergencies that need donuts over the next hour.
You know, it could happen.
Well, they'll have to wait.
Grab her hand. Just
Do you want to talk about it or no? I'm
I
fine
would
either
rather
way.
I would rather talk about quite literally anything else.
Okay, because there's a really weird man who's been just like standing by the bakery for the past 24 hours. I don't really know
I'm
what's
so
going
sorry.
on there.
I'm so sorry. I forgot to tell you. He's with us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alex, I was gonna send you after him because that was really scary.
No. He's one of my brothers, guys.
Okay.
Sorry, I wanted to make sure that you were all good because this thing going on, they're really good at getting us at what we love most. So I was worried about you.
Gives you a gentle smile.
So, what's been up with you? What's up? Talk to me. Tell me about the goings-on of town. Want to hear everything.
You know, we'll kind of fill you in on the small town gossip. Just anything to fill the air between the two of you. Eventually, we'll kind of like scoot her cushion over to yours and lay her head in your lap.
Yeah. Just kind of absentmindedly stroke her hair. We haven't had rain in a few days. I know you're probably pissed about that.
It's okay, it's more wind than I was used to before, so I'll take what I can get.
Right.
Can I do anything to help? I'd really like to if I could.
Could stay here with me a little longer.
Okay. Kind of reaches her own hand up and rubs small circles into your cheekbone. Her thumb.
I'm gonna sleep in here tonight if you wanna sneak over later.
I'll try.
Okay. Nothing weird has happened with you. You know, I know I asked about dreams the other night. Nothing like that. No painting in your closet.
No,
Weird
still,
birds.
Still no painting in my closet.
Good. Then I think we've been doing best job ever keeping this a secret.
Yeah.
You look worried.
My mom keeps asking me about when I'm gonna have a grandchild.
Of course.
She keeps asking me.
Do you want one?
No, do you?
Well, no. Do you want one? What?
I would leave him in a heartbeat if I didn't think he would kill you for it.
Listen to me. Kind of pull her up. Hold her face. He's a pirate. They're nincompoops. He could not
He's
get
a
with
pirate. He's a pirate who hates your family. That's his whole thing. That's always been his whole thing.
Well, that's boring. It's a boring thing. That's my own family's thing, is to hate our family. Come on, pick a new thing.
Right.
Listen.
I'll try to get him to pick a new thing.
You know that I have made a promise these past 3 years that we do not share anything of this. anybody but ourselves. But I would bring you home in a heartbeat. I would do anything for you. If that means you come and live on the estate and endure my family, then we do that. If that means that you stay and we continue this arrangement, we do that. If that means you have to go do something else, then I will love you from afar. Always and ever. You're all I care about.
And squeezes you very tightly and just sits in it for a moment. And there's a knock at the door. And her head whips around to look at it. And it's an incessant knocking. A knocking that does not stop. And that is where we're going to end our session.
You monster.
I'm getting on a plane.
Thank you all so much for joining us for our last stream of the year. We will see you on January 4th, the very special Rose Cult Origin stream. And we will be back in January for Merc Pro Lane. Have a great holidays if you celebrate any of them. Have a happy new year. And we will see you in January. Goodbye.